feel like my mind.
Hey, what's happening? Your power went out. I assume it came back on. What's happening? What is up, Stuart? It's always so quiet in the beginning of these. Let's see if we can fix that real fast. There we go. What's new with y'all? What's happening? What's everybody up to? All right, I think I like that. Let's see how this looks. For some reason, Ariana's like way off to the side. She must have like adjusted her seating arrangement in between episodes. Oh, never mind. You know what? This is a different batch of recordings, so that explains what happened. Cool. I think this is good. If I don't like it, I can adjust it later. Let's also... Oh, is that right? Oh, it's because the camera's just cut off, so it just is what it is. All right, that's fine. I can live with that. 5:39 in the UK. That's too early, brother. That's too early. Hey, you're not Maple or Adriana. Well, there are no Adrianas in this channel, so there's fair. What's up, Blonde No Sauce? Oh, Blondie? Blondie No Sauce, I guess? Yeah, what's up, Blondie? Alright, what did I do with them? I let them go home, is what I did. New compound clip. It is funny, these live streams are always called, like, editing something, and then people do, you know, I assume you're joking, but other people do hop in here and will be like, hey, what's going on? I guess they assume the girls edit their own stuff, which is fair, because a lot of them do. Clips and what is happening, Dave? Been fun rewatching the show with the girls. Been a while. I've forgotten what happened. Yeah, that's kind of me too. It was nice to kind of revisit. It's also nice because their reactions are just different than mine. I'm so kind of jaded. So when I watch most things, it's kind of like, oh, okay, here's the part where they did blah, 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 and here's the part where they did blah, blah, blah. It's nice when the girls are a bit more kind of shocked and surprised by what's happening. It'll be interesting to see their reaction to the new season because the first episode is a real mind bender. How do people feel about the new season so far?
All of a sudden.
Yep, good enough. Oh no, they're doing week to week, Dave. You're confused. I was confused the whole episode, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, Avatar, it's hard to get bad reactions out of Avatar. Like, unless people are just honestly haters, It will most likely win you over. It's just so good. New season is very good. Love Karma Place. I like the Karma Place. I've always liked their score their soundtrack choices are legit. There's some plot stuff that they're going to start doing that is I always find more confusing than interesting. So we'll see how it goes, but I have concerns that it's going to end up just being kind of a confusing mess. All right, let's see. Let's move that down there. And let's go here.
What's up, guys? My name's Ariana. What's up, guys? My name's Ariana.
And I'm Maple.
And today we are watching Invincible, Season 1, Episode 5.
Oh, that's what's going on. I forgot they had the AC on. We've been having some really annoying weather. It won't just decide to be hot yet or cold. I mean, it's like, it'll be cold for a good while and then it'll just be like, never mind. What if it was hot again? Not my favorite. All right. Open Infusion. Been doing this all day, setting up the early access videos for Patreon, and so it feels like I already did this today, but I have to make a whole episode again, which is good. This is a good episode. I'm just so tired all the time. What flavor am I vaping? I am vaping Meditation. It's a watermelon, grapefruit, jackfruit combination. Don't know what a jackfruit tastes like, but this vape is tasty. I think they might like Young Justice. I don't know. I haven't seen Young Justice, but it's kind of a kid show, right? You know, Dave, speaking of that question, what's the last time a show even did release a full shebang all at once? I feel like we've gotten away from that model. Like, we got away from the television model of week to week into House of Cards. Everything just dropped at the same time. Everyone binged it. Back to everything is released week to week. And I do, honestly, ultimately, I will admit I was wrong. Initially, I much preferred everything coming out at once. But I actually do really enjoy the water cooler talk of like, dude, did you see last week's episode? What do you think of that? You know, what do you think the implications are? Where do you think this is going? Talking to your friends throughout the week, and then it comes back, and then you're excited every week for the new episode to come out. I didn't realize how much I missed that. And I actually am happy that we've gotten back to that system. I think it's just a much more enjoyable way to watch a show. What am I looking for? This one is going to be... Sorry, my systems are different depending on who the previous editor was. I want to get rid of this, and this, and that, and that, and that, honestly. And just go here. Sure. And then this, I just want the background. I want to get rid of all these. And then this, I want to isolate the girls. And we'll just do that and that. And that's going to connect over here, and that's going to give me just the girls. I'm not doing the white outline anymore because I've realized that it makes me have to crunch down the green screen effects too much. So I'd prefer to have a softer green screen effect and not have the white. And it's like, what, the first 5 seconds of the video is different? Who cares? No, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people didn't even notice anyway. So that's that. And we're going to go, not film strip, we're going to do fall bounce. Fall bounce. Glitch. Glitch. Turn these upside down. Turn the beat around. Hey, mate, would love to stay, but I've just been editing on Premiere all night. Ooh, fun. I'm done. Thumbs up from the UK. Yeah, thumbs up to you, man. Get some sleep, brother. They should release Breaking Bad more often. They is me, brother. To be honest, it's so slow. I know it's up to them, of course. Kind of. Hey, what's up, Wu Shaoling? As far as like those kinds of executive decisions, that's mostly me. And I have 3 other editors. They all have their own shows. So like Jesse does Barry and Succession, Joe does Breaking Bad, and Jess, yes, there's a Jesse and a Jess, and all 3 editors' names start with a J. Jess does Avatar, and well, now she's doing Legend of Korra. And so if you notice, like, we do Korra as 2 a week because they're easy to edit. They're only like 20-something minute episodes. But the other stuff is a little bit harder. We could probably push Barry to twice a week. Honestly, that may not be a bad idea because it's only a half an hour. But all the hour-long shows, it takes a long time to edit. So that's why we don't do 2 a week. And keep in mind, we also can't have 2 a week releases if they're not watching 2 episodes a week. And like on Saturday, they have to watch 6 episodes of things anyway. So they just don't have the time. Okay, so.
What's up, guys? My name's Ariana.
Oh, yeah. I have to isolate them.
What's up, guys? My name's Ariana.
And I'm Maple.
And today we are watching Invincible, Season 1, Episode 5.
Now, this is Invincible. I should still have that footage. Do I not? I think these are all Korra for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why they're Korra, but they are. So I'll deal with that later. I have to go find a bit from Patreon. So we'll just put that here for now.
All right.
There is indeed a whole infrastructure. And yes, I do have the J Squad. What? The J Team. I love how thorough the edits are for your Breaking Bad. Yeah, all the major story beats are there. Nothing more frustrating than when reactions skip all over the place, no coherence. I mean, it was a big thing early on trying to edit or trying to get all the editors caught up with what the vibe of how we edit is, you know? I mean, it really honestly took probably 6 months before most of them were at a place where like I can just trust it's going to be a good edit and I don't have to go back and like redo anything or make adjustments or anything. I'm really, really in a medium where training is like not, you know, the investment in each person is huge. And I've worked at a lot of places like, you know, Walmart and stuff where they always talk about how it's like it's really hard to replace people. So, you know, it's so much investment to train people up. And so you guys need to not quit. Like that's our problem and not theirs. But I do work in a place now where it actually is really difficult to replace people. And if I wanted to, it would take a very long time to get them caught up to speed. If either the girls quit, it would take forever, you know, for them to develop. Like it took a long time. People don't think about it now because it's been a long time. But when Maple started, it took forever for her stuff to catch up to Ariana's. Like people were just used to Ariana and they weren't used to Maple yet. So most of them were just very, you know, kind of like, I don't know who this new girl is. I don't trust her. And then after a while, like now she's, you know, when people think of Diegesis, they think of Maple just as much as they do Ariana. If I had to replace one of them, it would take for fucking ever, you know, to get that again. And then the editors, it's a similar kind of thing of like, it's not only that it takes a long time for them to get used to it, but it's a lot of extra work for me to have to go back and double check all their work and like basically re-edit their edits. And I now have 3 people who like I can, you know, trust that it's going to be fine. And I just kind of watch them for little things here and there. I mostly check just to double check their like baseline editing stuff nowadays because I just understand a lot of it a little bit more specifically than they do. But aside from that, yeah, pretty much I can just take it and set it up and send it off.
Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Eunice, that was Joe who did that. Yeah, Wuxia it's the vibe part for sure. I mean, part of it too is I try not to cover any shows that like we all have similar taste for the most part. We don't necessarily watch all the same stuff, but like if I think a show is like really good, for the most part, everyone in my crew has like really similar kinds of taste, you know. Like they all like Succession, they all like Severance. But the other thing is having them consistent on a show. When I first picked them up, I was doing the shows and had them all do movies. And I realized that if I just plugged them into a show, then they could get used to the rhythms of that show. And then by the time, you know, they get a couple, you know, episodes or a season in, they're kind of like, they know the beats and how the show's going to vibe and how it feels. So editing it becomes very kind of second nature. How'd this whole company channel get started anyway? Yeah, I wanted to do video essays and nobody watched them. And that hasn't changed. So long story short, I kept modifying the content I produced until I decided to hire some ladies and do some reaction videos, and here we are. And then eventually, after about a year of doing that, we ended up needing. I wanted to grow the span of the stuff that we did, so I wanted to pick up some more editors and hired some homies of mine, and voila, here we are. Yeah, I think they also have good chemistry because they're both very different in how they react. So I think that they make for a good combination because it's not two people who are just the same and not two people who are different in a way that they like frustrate each other. The editors must have seen the complete Breaking Bad series in order to know what scenes to include. Yeah, Joe has seen it before. Yeah, Blind. I mean, yeah, it's also, it's film language, right? Like a lot of the scenes that are important, most of them you can tell. The show isn't that subtle. It's a little bit older, so it kind of wears its like, hey, pay attention to this on its sleeve. You know, if you have a moment and the camera lingers with a character for a little while while they think about something or they look at something and then it cuts, it's like, okay, well, that's going to be important. So just put a pin in that and see if it comes back. Yeah, thanks, Eunice. Appreciate it. Also helps that the show gives a roadmap and guidelines for future edits. That's very true. Yeah, that's what I mean about like catching the vibes of it. Like you start to understand this is how the show happens, and this is like, you know, when you're watching an Avatar episode, you know that there's going to be an important beat every so often. There's going to be probably a fight scene per episode. Like there's all these kind of things you start to catch the rhythms of, and you just kind of, the edits become, I'm having the same thing with Invincible. I'm starting to kind of capture kind of like, okay, this is how episodes play out. Freddie, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I could tell you a million things about the answer to that. I have no idea. It feels completely random. I think there's people who are doing much better content than us and are floundering. And there's people who I think make different content in ways I wouldn't necessarily think is a great idea, but they're crushing us. There's also people who like we flew past. And then, I mean, because this isn't talking shit, like I'll just say it, like Just Trust Ash is a great example. Like he's a guy, and I've always liked him. I could have my numbers wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember like they started earlier than us. We flew past them, and then they caught up and they've flown past us, you know. And so like it's just kind of, I think only the Lord Almighty knows.
Right. No, they should be on computer breaking that. Yep. Well, the last time we watched Amazon number. Might not be cute. Oh, yeah, we're halfway through, huh? Mm-hmm.
The murders without arousing
Can we
his
turn it a little bit?
What does sending Mark away get us? A chance to see what this kid can do. We'll move his house to the right place.
I got my shoes on. Oh, gross. I feel uncomfortable all of a sudden.
Hey, Cecil.
Okay.
Is this spot? Left out. Reminder. When you prove yourselves worthy of the heroes you came.
Well, it's one thing to say our movie reactions are big, but it's also like it depends on the movie. We have plenty of movie reactions that are substantially worse than any of our shows, right? So yeah, like on one hand, Tropic Thunder is probably going to be our first video to hit 1 million, but on the flip side, like Talk to Me did way worse than any show episode. So it's just, you know, it's not necessarily movies or shows do better. It's like just the right content does better. And then to an extent, you're going to start to develop an audience that has expectations and they like certain things. And so those kinds of movies will do better. Like we can't cover things like Dumb and Dumber because the girls would just think it was dumb and be kind of annoyed with it. And then that fan base who would watch it would be like, what the hell is this? So yeah, it's complicated and difficult.
People, wife,
No, so it's like Batman 2.0 me with the fucking cursor in the middle of the screen. Like, how can somebody watch it like that? Well, normal people don't, but I do watch the shows with the
honestly wouldn't even have noticed it. Wouldn't even
Sometimes I know people about that.
yeah, like,
I just focus on everything else going on.
right. Oh, hello. Nice.
All right.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Let's get our zooms in here.
It's nighttime and it's nighttime and we've got our shades on. It's nighttime and we've got our nighttime and we've got our shades on.
Just Trust Ash has crazy thumbnails. I agree. Do you know Alex Hefner? Yes, I do. You ever watch The Normies or Blind Wave or OG? I know of all three of those. None of them are like my style, so I don't watch them. One of my favorite gags the girls do is Ariana getting freaked out by Maple's surprisingly good scary impressions. Yeah, it is really funny. I know there was something before that, and I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it's happened a couple times. It's really funny. So hyped for 1-8. I am too. I know. I can't wait. I was hoping that we'd be able to knock those all out the other night, but it didn't work out that way. So it is what it is.
I've never seen anyone beautiful, tall and buff, in an beautiful, tall and buff in an alleyway. Buff, tall and buff in an alleyway.
Hold on. That's so funny. They're sitting opposites how they normally do. Maple's also leaned back and Ariana's sitting up straight, so now their sizing is wrong. Let me fix that real fast. Oh, okay. Never mind. It changes. Maple's going to start sitting up straight. Okay, that's fine. Just leave it for now. The beginning's going to look a little weird. Because we're in a tiny bedroom and it's like, I don't know, 8 by 9 feet or something like that, I have to use a really wide angle lens to capture both of them, and that's going to accentuate sitting forward and sitting back. It's going to make you look a lot bigger if you're sitting forward. Alex also has a couple other things going on with him. Like, first off, his editing style is much more appealing to like a very younger audience. I wouldn't be surprised if his audience was skewed, like, you know, a couple standard deviations younger than mine. And that's going to be helpful, is because young audience is more on YouTube than older people. And on top of that, he almost does like a commentary style reaction to his movies. He's catered a type of movie and audience where he can watch a lot of bad movies and people just like to watch him kind of talk shit, where ours is more focused on people wanting to watch the girls like things. So yeah, good on him though.
I'm just saying.
You know what? I'm saying Alex Hefner. That's not true. Alex Hefner is the guy who also used to do music, right? I'm thinking of a different guy, I think. I'm thinking of the guy. Who's that guy? He's like the biggest. He's had over 1 million for a very long time. And of course, I can't find him. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Maybe you guys know who I'm talking about. There's this other guy who's like a huge channel, and he's the one I was just talking about. Alex Hefner, if I recall, he's the guy who I think transitioned from music reactions to YouTube reactions or video reactions, and that would make a lot of sense because there's just already an audience, so you get to start by sending people off, you know? My audience is generally millennials. TBR Schmidt, yeah, they're cool. Yeah, channeling multiple audiences together.
I'm just saying.
Okay, let's do this.
Tall and buff in an alleyway. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like you're beautiful.
He is chiseled for a cartoon. He is chiseled for a cartoon. Oh, they got guns.
They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. King, talk like a king. You can X around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. They ain't got what's right
Oh.
through these. They ain't got what's right
Oh.
through these.
Fuck that hoodie, man. Sorry.
Through these.
Oh. Fuck that hoodie, man. Fuck that hoodie, man. Sorry. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that hoodie.
Man, she says that so fast.
Fuck that hoodie.
I actually want to bleep it because it's so early. Also, so you know that she's saying something.
Oh. Hello. It's nighttime and we've got our shades on.
I've never seen anyone beautiful, tall, and buff in an alleyway. I'm just saying. Like, you're beautiful.
He is chiseled for a cartoon. Oh, they got guns.
King, talk like a king. Got what's right
Oh.
through these.
Fuck that hoodie, man. Sorry.
There we go. I used to work for Deluxe Digital London. We done foreign language mastering for House of Cards and Breaking Bad for Europe territories. That's cool. Alex Hefner's reactions come off as rehearsed and fake, very charactery. I don't believe any of the emotion responses. Yeah, I watch people who have the biggest like emotional responses. If people are watching all of Avatar and they're never crying, it's probably not for me.
See,
There's some people who kind of like their angle is that they're funny. And I think the girls are funny by like being themselves, but I think the girls do a good job of not trying to be funny. There's not a lot of points you can be like, well, here they are like hamming up a reaction to something that they're not actually feeling that way about, and that's important.
see another buff, beautiful man. See another buff, beautiful man. Oh, okay, is that guy. Is that okay, is that guy.
Oh, yeah. He's going in to steal their monies. He's going into... steal their money. Steal their monies.
Wait for the king. Wait for the king.
My God, he's rock. My God. My God, he's rock hard. God, he's. My God, he's rock hard.
Stop. Is he just taking...
Oh my God, a forklift? Oh God.
I thought he was just gonna like drive out with the product. Oh, he just...
Whoa.
I feel like... Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if it's kids don't care about real reactions or they just can't tell, like they just haven't interacted with enough people in real life to be able to tell when someone's phoning it in or not. And also like some of it's training, right? Like I didn't grow up with Mr. Beast, but kids did. And Mr. Beast has the phoniest reactions to just life, and it's not just Mr. Beast, but there's like a billion people who behave like Mr. Beast. So I didn't grow up on entertainers, being like, what up, gamers, it's your boy Chad here, and today I'm gonna do this crazy thing. Like it's very performative, and I just didn't grow up used to that. So I think that, the Skinner box or the feedback loop that we've created with the youth is paying dividends these days, and they're just used to a certain kind of content that I'm just too old to be used to yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a lot of, like, crossfire.
Okay, we don't need that.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a lot of, like, crossfire. Like, Ooh!
That's a thumbnail. And then I need to think about
There's
how
a
to
lot of, like,
edit,
crossfire.
because people were complaining when I changed the colors for everything. So let's think. Okay. Color. We're just gonna change this blood tone. All right, see, the problem is I can't isolate in this menu is my issue. I just want to isolate, and that's the trouble, is I don't think I can. So let's think. Let's go. There's one way to do this, but it would be extremely slow. It would be nice if there was a way for me to, like, mark these things. Oh, that's the wrong one anyway. I wish I could, like, mark backwards. I know how to mark one direction to the next. I don't know how to mark the other direction. Okay, let's see. Channel. Open in timeline. I have to, like, try to track down all the violence. I guess we'll just do that. I'll just try to do, like, a violence pass. It's kind of frustrating, but it makes for a better viewing experience for people. Yeah, I grew up on Markiplier. Exactly right. Yeah, I didn't grow up on Markiplier, so it's just a different kind of vibe. Is that DaVinci Resolve? Yes, it is. Yeah, the rock hard comment is super funny. Been following a Twitch streamer who's dabbling in music and movie reactions. Biscuit. I know Biscuit. Her shtick is her Romanian accent, sarcasm, glib, also has strong visceral reactions. Yeah, no, I think Biscuit's great. Just has my kind of sensibilities and sense of humor. No, that works. Nice to see the channel do well. I see lots and lots of uploads. Yeah. Well, we finally picked up more editors, Timothy. Congratulations on getting married, by the way. I don't know if I said that already. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. But congrats. Performative reactors remind me of the old Crazy Eddie car dealership. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. It is for age restriction reasons. That's exactly right. Use levels and pull the red channel down to desaturate the blood. Sure. Let's try that, because that would be a lot easier if I could do it like that. All right, so let's go here. I have no idea how these work. Oh, we're trying to isolate based on, like, brightness? Is that the idea? There's a easier... There's ultimately an easier way, but it just requires me to have to do this kind of, like, gore pass, and I don't really want to do a gore pass, but it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. All right, so here's what's up. We're going to go here, and we get this guy, right? It just means I got to find all the gore scenes, and, like, not every episode is extremely gory. I think that's a big thing. People, like, some episodes have a lot more than others. I think episode 2 is maybe one of the goriest, and then episodes 7 and 8, or 8 especially, is, like, one of the goriest. Okay, cool. All right, so the way that I would like to do it in Fusion, but I don't know how, is to just do something like this. We'll go ahead and isolate the red tones. And actually, first off, we'll make sure that we're in the right place. I don't just want to do a hue switch. I want to do a saturation, I think. And what's nice about this is because it's a cartoon, the colors are quite separated. There we go. Yeah, see, so now you have kind of like a black blood thing going on. Which you'll notice a lot of movies that are PG-13 that are really violent also do the kind of black blood thing. And, like Chronicles of Riddick did that a lot because they were trying to avoid being rated R. Okay, and then theoretically, I can just copy paste those settings. No? Oh, come on. Oh, wait, never mind, never mind. I have to do it differently. I have to... What, go... here? Yeah, and then... Oh, wait, other way around. I have to go here. No, that's right. So here, let's look. That's... should be bright red blood, and that should make it black. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, that'll work. That'll work. It'll take a little while, but it's fine. The end of this episode also is going to get really gory, but everything in between those two won't be that bad. Just a lot of story beats in this episode. But you guys see what I'm talking about? Do you think the ladies would ever watch The Wire? I don't know. I don't know if I want to cover The Wire. It's really long, and I just really don't think it's as good as people think it is. I think everyone remembers when it was the best show on TV, and I do agree that there was a point when it was the best show on TV, but I just think there's too many shows now. They're just a lot better. When The Wire was the best show on TV was back, like, before... And then you see if I isolate the sections, then we don't have issues where, like, this red gets isolated and turned down for no reason, even though it's not, like, blood. Also, I don't even know who's checking. Like, I assume it's automated, and I don't know how it can tell the difference between... I wonder if it looks for, like, patterns that seem purposeful versus splatter, because somehow it can tell the difference. It seems like I don't get flagged for, you know, his suit being covered in blood, even though it's the same color as the blood. So I don't know what the difference is. It's really weird. Yeah, I love the Carl Winslow thing. Yeah, this isn't going to be that hard. I was stressing for no reason. I think the splash screen's fine. I've never seen anyone else blur their splash screen before. I just realized that that's probably a joke. It's called a splash screen and they splash blood onto it. That's probably supposed to be kind of like a double entendre joke I never even thought about. Or I'm sure the animators at least were kind of chuckling to themselves, or the editors. It's also like context dependent. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have to blur his suit that is covered in blood right here, you know? It's weird, dude. It's a lot of guesswork. Half the time, I wouldn't be surprised if like a third of what we do doesn't matter, you know? It's all just like better safe than sorry kind of scenarios. Yeah, it's about to get super gory in this episode. And like really quick little ones aren't a big deal, but like obviously when he gets like ripped apart, that's going to be a big fucking problem. You guys are fucking dead. Deadwood. Yeah, I've never seen Deadwood. Yes, Reputation has a very long shadow. I agree. And that's the thing. Like, it doesn't make the show worse. It's just that better thing. Like, you know, like I said, Severance didn't exist when that show first came out. Its competition was a lot worse. When I go back and watch that show, I mean, like that dude with the freaking bow tie and stuff, it just scans very corny to me now, you know? What's up, Fahrenheit? How probable is Fargo? Well, to be honest, a lot of shows get more and more probable the more good shows we finish, you know? Once we're done, yeah, Brother Mazone. Once we get done with a couple more shows, we're really running, like, I only think there's like 5 unbelievable 10 out of 10 shows in existence, you know? So once we're done with those, we're gonna have to start like lowering our standards, and so things like Fargo and stuff will probably make more room. Also, though, like, I've only seen the first episode of Fargo and I fucking hated it, but people tell me all the time it's incredible, so we'll get to it. It'll be a good opportunity for me to actually like be forced to watch it and see if it changes my mind. Yeah, The Bear, everybody loves The Bear. Curious the girl seeing The Godfather. Mob movies are worth it because Ariana really loves like Goodfellas. I really genuinely think they would be fucking bored with The Godfather. That's my biggest concern. I think they'd find the Godfather really boring. What are the 10 out of 10 shows? Well, we've been covering them, you know. Succession, Barry, what do you call it? Severance, you know, like we're covering the shows that I think are some of the best ever made. I might just like do the effect for this entire segment because it's so gory the whole time. And if people don't like it, they can diggity deal with it. At least it's not for the whole episode. It was funny too. I had a lot of people who were like, they're like, yeah, I get why you're doing this, but why are you doing it to Adam Eve? And it's like, I'm not doing it to Adam Eve. It's just the nature of how these things work. Like, if it's going to do it anywhere, it's going to do it everywhere. Yeah, it's watchable. It's fine. Everything's a little darker. Like, Rex obviously is turned down, but he's also a little bit more orange than red. Let me see if I can isolate more, though, and bring back some of that Rex. So that doesn't do it. Oh, never mind. Rex is really bright red. Okay, never mind. Yeah, no, that's just... It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Also, does anyone know if there's a way to auto-tune on DaVinci Resolve? Probably a plugin. Watching Azula finally get the comeuppance that she deserved in Avatar. So, like, this is something where it's subtle enough. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'll leave that alone. Have I heard of Banshee? Yeah, it's has Anthony Starr as the star. First one is primer and reminder of the movie. It does springboard new areas after episode 2 or after 2 episodes. Okay, I get you. I mean, I don't mind that it's a reminder of the movie. I just think it felt like it was trying really hard to redo stuff from the movie, and it did it all worse in my opinion, which of course it would. It's not the Coen brothers, like, you know, that is a hard legacy to follow up with, you know. I certainly wouldn't want to have to. Okay. Yeah, I think this episode's good after that. See, that's not that hard. And then, like, yeah, technically that's blood, but I don't think the AI is going to be able to tell what it's looking at, so we'll leave the rest of this alone. All right, cool. So that should handle all that for me, so I don't have to do this in post. Or during work. Yeah, right. Can you request and donate for a certain movie we watch? No, because the amount of work it is to make a movie. I mean, you can request whatever, and it's just going to have to do with, like, if I agree. Like, maybe you'll bring up some movie I'm not thinking of, and I'll be like, oh, you're right, we should cover that movie. That's a great idea. But we don't do, like, donations for it, because the amount of money it would cost would be way too... I don't feel comfortable asking people for, like, $500 to make it worth it to cover a movie, you know, that's going to underperform. I don't know if the strike affected the channel one bit, but... Are there newer stuff that you're going to set up reactions to? Like when Oppenheimer comes on digital? Yeah, we might. We don't really, you know, worry too much about like when things came out. It's more about just like what are things the girls would really like that we think the audience would dig too. So if it is new, then great. If it's old, it's great. You know, like I don't necessarily worry about like how new the things are. And honestly too, like I don't think we've ever had a reaction to something new that did well. You know, like Talk to Me just came out recently and it's terrible. So most of the time, like covering new things doesn't necessarily seem to move the needle for us. And then there's channels who can kind of just watch anything and it always does well, and that's kind of a different scenario. I got the perfect reaction movie title. Funniest movie of all time. A cult classic. That is a funny title. Any plans for Gen V? I've tried watching it. I hate it. I can't do it.
Like I...
Ooh!
Oh. Wrong thing.
Oh, oh, got smushed.
Damn. Oh. Yeah, did you not get to see the rest of your friends just get absolutely like, oh. Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, dude, I'm out. Oh, no.
Oh. Yeah. Exactly. I'd be like, dude, I'm out. I'd be like, dude, I'm out. Oh. Oh. I'm out. Oh no. Oh, it ricocheted. Oh, it ricocheted.
Yes, that is what happened. Sorry, I cannot stop messing with this mic.
Tell Mr. Lou next time I find him on our turf, I won't be so gentle.
Oh.
Ooh.
That message was for you. It was for you.
This is who Walter White wished. This is who Walter White wishes he was.
Stop.
Oh.
Oh.
Go!
All right.
What's up, guys? My name's Ariana.
And I'm Maple.
And today we are watching Invincible, Season 1, Episode 5.
Windy City Heat. Never heard of it. What's the demographic of your audience? It's going to be white males who are millennials predominantly. Hey, thanks about the video essay, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, hello. It's nighttime and we've got our shades on.
I've never seen anyone beautiful, tall, and buff in an alleyway. I'm just saying. Like, you're beautiful.
He is chiseled for a cartoon.
Oh,
they got guns.
honestly, man, it's probably just what you think. I just asked some people if they wanted to do this, and they said yes.
That hoodie, man. Sorry.
They come
See,
on
another
Saturdays
buff,
to
beautiful
record
man.
the
Oh,
shows.
okay, it's that guy.
And then normally Tuesdays are when they record movies, but right now we're trying to rush through Invincible so we can catch up with season 2 with everybody else. So we're only doing Invincible until they're done with that on Tuesdays. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the long and short. It's not that, interesting.
Oh, yeah. He's going in to steal their money. Oh my god, he's rock hard. Oh my god, forklift? Oh god. I thought he was just gonna drive out with product. There's a lot of crossfire. Yeah? Ooh. Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, I'm out. Oh no. Hey, yes, that is what happened.
Tell Mr. New next time I find him on our job, I won't be so gentle.
Oh.
That message was for you.
This is who Walter White wishes he was. Oh.
Go.
All right, one scene down.
Shit.
There's so many new people. Yeah. This guy?
There's always so many new people.
Yeah.
This time,
Many new people.
Hmm.
There's always so many new people.
Yeah. This guy?
this time.
Although, have we seen this guy? Seen this guy?
This guy?
Yeah.
I feel like we have.
Gio, roll that back. Gio, roll that back. Ah, this guy's dope.
Ugh. Hey.
She has way too much game for a high schooler. I just don't understand.
Succession. What episode are they on? That's a good question. I forget. Let's find out. Succession. They are on probably 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5 is the newest one they saw.
She has way too much game for a high schooler. I just don't understand where it comes from.
Oh, what was that?
Yes, I'm 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
But there's no way you're gonna be mad at me.
And how do you figure that?
Because I brought you Japanese cheesecake.
You went all the way across town to get cheesecake.
Yep.
To make up for me, because you went across town to get cheesecake?
Is that crazy?
Yeah, it kind of is.
I mean, I could take it back, but that'll probably still be more than
I don't need any of that. I'm gonna get rid of that, and I think I'm gonna get rid of these two as well.
Although,
Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all this. It's just not plot important.
Oh, he set that fire. Oh. Dang, he's a menace. Oh, he's running amok. Oh, he set that fire.
oh,
Dang, he is a menace.
Hey, hey.
I know he's running
What
amok.
did I ever do to you?
Kevin, shut up. Leave it alone.
I do want this little save the cat beat because it establishes the character is, you know, gray, complicated.
There's a place on 3rd and Parkland. They'll put you up for a few weeks.
Okay. Whoa.
Where, woman?
Whoa.
Where, woman?
Dude, we need to get on our cosplay game with this show.
Just trying to keep the city safe.
Game with this show.
Trying to keep the city safe.
No.
City safe.
No. I can't.
You don't want to sit here in all the hot lights of the room with a bunch of hair on lights of the hot lights of the room with a bunch of hair on your
No.
face?
It's not that. I overcommit to everything. I to everything. Overcommit to everything. I
In
no.
like a tight spandex.
I will spend too much time that I don't have. He's get on a cosplay game with the show. No, you always sit here and all the hot lights in the room with a bunch of hair on your face. It's not that. I overcommit to everything. I can't. It's like a tight spandex. I will spend too much time that I don't have.
You know I will.
5 minutes late.
Won't happen again.
5 minutes late.
Won't happen again, Mr. Sayer.
He's being late to everything.
You've been late 12 times in the past 3 months. I'm sorry, but I'm ducking your shits.
You know what? Don't bother. I quit.
What?
Mr. Sayer? I quit.
What?
Mr. Sayer? There's a rat in the mayonnaise again.
Do I look like I can't see?
I feel like you should. I feel like you should.
Grayson? Grayson?
But also, I'm very curious. But also, I'm very curious as to was he?
Hey, what's up, Maple? Good to have you. Yeah, someone from the show. I mean, like you said, there's plenty of options.
Calling Mark Grayson?
I need more.
Yeah, that's his last name.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay.
I feel like you should.
Grayson? Grayson?
But also, I'm
very curious as to what were you saying? How do superheroes make money in this world? Right, the government would pay them for jobs, I'd assume, right? So, like freelance, saving the world.
After that, you pay the sidewalk.
I feel like he's the henchman.
I'll never tell. Grayson? I'll never tell.
So he's got to be some crazy guy.
You have to scare him. Make him think you'll actually drop him.
I can hear you.
I don't know. That seems mean.
All right, here, I'll show you.
I don't know. That seems mean.
All right, here, I'll show you.
Yeah.
See, now he'll tell me everything.
Okay, but you're gonna catch him, right?
Yeah, in a second.
It's because they're so mad. Because they're so mad. I like would be. Wait, no. Dude,
No.
your dad's actually really scary, just in case you were wondering. I feel like he's super fast.
Yeah, Pit Granny would be hilarious. That would be really funny. Quite a few good choices for cosplay. But what? Just scream like you said backwards thing would be difficult. Yeah, morph screen suit, yeah.
Principal Winslow. Principal Winslow. Hi.
Mr. Grayson, if you're planning to attend college,
Wait, this is actually like Mr. like Winslow that's in.
Yes.
Pause it, please. Pause it.
What if I'm not?
No. Yes, it is.
That's Family Matters. That's Family Matters. His name is Winslow in Family Matters. In Family Matters, and he's playing Mr. Winslow. He's playing Mr. Winslow. Come on. Come on, sorry. Also, come on, sorry. Also,
I don't know what that is. Okay, hold on. We're going back to the other thing. Sorry, I just had to know because I was like, he even looks.
I know, look.
Like, look. Like, you know, like I guess, have you ever heard of Urkel?
Yes.
Family Matters is what Urkel was on.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
was never actually
And
called
so that's,
Urkel.
that's his principal then.
It was his neighbor that he's always annoying.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
he was a cop actually in
That's
Family
funny.
Matters.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. In 3, 2, 1, go.
If
That's so
you're
funny.
planning to attend college, we need to have a conversation about your recent attendance issues.
Oh, what if I'm not planning to attend college?
Hi, today.
What if I'm not planning to attend college?
God, it just.
Day. I feel like he is not acting of his own.
Or do you want to fire your guns in the air? Or do you want to fire? Or do you want to fire your guns in the air? Or do you want to fire your guns in the air so you tried your best and we all walk away happy? And alive.
God damn. It's got a point.
Girl boss who wakes up at 2 a.m. like a successful entrepreneur. Yeah. More like wake up at 4 p.m. like a successful entrepreneur. But yeah. Are you doing 2 episodes a week? I'm doing as many as I can a week. I'm trying to get the show done before hopefully episode 3. And I'm hoping that we'll be watching episode 3 with all the other reactors by the time that happens. That's another benefit of shows coming out week to week for us, is like if it's all dropped on the same day, it's difficult to watch enough and get them out quickly before like the buzz is kind of worn off. But having it come out like week to week keeps the buzz going for a lot longer. Gives us more time to catch
can't
up.
Make it tonight. Just got hit by something.
Standing me up? You tread on dangerous ground, my friend.
It'll be worth the wait to see me on my best behavior.
Do not miss dinner with my mom on Thursday if you value everything you hold dear, my Grayson.
Not for the end of the world.
We don't really need that because we're gonna see it later.
Dollar General. God.
Dollar General Joker.
Not even
Dollar
scratched.
General
Not
Joker.
bad for a guy with gravel for fingers.
That guy has like a Joker.
Not bad for a guy with gravel for fingers.
That guy has like a techno wrestling mask.
Yeah, he does. Looks like a luchador. That's funny.
Techno wrestling mask.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this scene feels very, very inspired by Leon the Professional. This feels like Stanfield and how he takes drugs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That works nicely.
That's the last of it. Paid in full. I'm done. Paid in full. I'm done.
Nah.
Let's turn this off for now. It's slowing down the editing.
Paid in full. I'm done.
See if it affects the live stream.
Nah. That works nicely.
Nah.
See, Titan, your problem is you're too useful. You get shit done. You take bullets like a champ and don't even whine about it. Unlike someone else in the room. See, Titan, your problem is you're too useful. You get shit done. You take bullets like a champ and don't even whine about it. Unlike someone else in the room. It was one fucking time. I said, shut the hell up.
Auto-tune.
You take bullets like a champ and don't even whine about it. Unlike someone else in the room.
It was one fucking time. I said.
Shut the hell up.
Makes me think of Bo Burnham now.
The auto-tune. The auto-tune.
When they need to die. But man, they make an impact. If you didn't just finish paying off your debt, we'd be talking bonus time.
I don't need your money anymore.
Sure you do. Come on, you gotta go clean. Work the fry station at Burger Mart. That ship has sailed, amigo. This is your life now. This is what you do.
This is your life now.
Amigo. This is your life now. This is what you
It doesn't have to be.
This is your.
It doesn't have to be.
This is your life now.
To be. Doesn't have to be.
This is your life now.
A walking pile of rocks. You break heads. That's it. That's all. Own it already. I know you're gonna keep working for me. The question is, how painful do you? I know you're ready. I know you're gonna keep working for me. The question is, how painful do you want it to be? How painful do you want it to be?
Wait, can Chad auto-tune us? Chad auto-tune me. Wait, can Chad auto-tune us? Chad auto-tune me.
All right, let's see if we can do that. Meta commentary movie makers like Wes Craven, Joss Whedon, Quentin Tarantino, my patience get tested more time pass. The he said the thing excitement. Wu Shiling, I need you to explain more. I don't think I know exactly what you're talking about. I have a new appreciation for the art of editing good stuff. Wish folks continue to success. Hey, thanks, Ason. Appreciate you. All right, let's see. Benji resolve. Because I don't necessarily need to do an actual auto tune. I'm thinking that if I could just animate a pitch shift, it would give a similar effect, at least enough for the joke, because it's not something I'm going to be doing all the time, so I don't really want to download something if I can avoid it. So let's go to audio effects.
Chad auto-tune me. Chad auto-tune me.
We'll see if this works. I'm not so sure it's going to, but we'll give it a try. How do I insert keyframes? Let's back out. Can I do audio adjustments on adjustment clips? No. Okay. Okay. Well, we can just do it like this. I thought I could keyframe anything. Can I not keyframe this? Why can I keyframe the volume but not keyframe the pitch? Do you guys think he'll react to anime like Attack on Titan or Vinland Saga? Probably not. There are plugins. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess you're right. I can just do it in steps. In audio and reverb. Oh, I see what you mean. People making movies that are very self-referential to movies. I guess I don't have a problem with the theory, with the concept. If you don't have anything intelligent to say about it, or not intelligent, but anything fresh to say about it, then that's probably when it gets old. Like, by the time Wes Craven made Scream, he had already made the previous Scream, basically, which was his new Nightmare on Elm Street 5, I think, or something like that. And it was like just the same thing. It's like, what if it was a movie where people in the movie were aware of what was in the movie? And I think the first handful of those earned their spot because it was filling a space that didn't exist. But I do agree that these days it's starting to get to a point where it's like, yeah, we know, we get it, we've seen movies too. I think it's also funnier the less adept your audience is with like normal film craft. And I think part of the trouble right now is that the average audience member is a lot more adept than they used to be. So it's kind of like we already kind of know all the jokes. And again, we've all seen those movies, you know, like we've seen Scream. So it's kind of like we get it now. So I agree. I'm kind of tired of it, but I'm not against the idea because like if someone has something interesting or fun to say about it, then I'm down. Did you say there's a lot of reverb in these kind of things? I guess so. I also don't listen to a lot of auto-tune stuff too, so my ear is not super well trained for it. Hello?
Chad, auto-tune.
Nope, that didn't work at all. It has to be a lot faster than that. Oh man. Yeah, I'm probably just going to have to download some. The problem is even if I download an auto-tune plugin, I'm still going to have to figure out how to make it sound like the thing. But whatever. Let's look. All right. Ooh, actually, I've got one. I bet there's like some website I can just upload. I can just upload like audio and it'll just auto tune it for me. I bet. All right, I'll tell you what, this is going to eat up a lot of time, so I'll just do this when I'm not streaming. That'll make more sense. Okay, so let's do... just so we can keep the pace moving. I don't want to get stuck on this for an hour.
I know where your family lives. I know where your family lives.
Yeah.
That means you work for me until I say you're fucking done.
He's screwed. Yeah.
That means you work for me. For me.
He's screwed.
Ooh. Yeah, see? See? Impressive shit like that is exactly why
Compliment sandwich.
Letting you go.
You're so great, but you're...
See? Impressive shit like that is exactly why...
Whoa. Didn't ask for all that.
Exactly why...
Compliment sandwich.
Letting you go.
You're so great, but you're my slave.
This was imported Italian maple.
His obsession with his imported Italian maple is kind of funny. If no keyframing, then chop the clip into 3 and give it a different pitch. Yeah, Editing is hard. Yeah, it's not I don't know. It's time consuming. I don't know about hard. Yeah, Shane Black does it too. Well, see, the Last Action Hero I think makes sense. Like that works for me. But again, it's also old enough that this wasn't like a super tired trope. You know, I think The Last Action Hero is older than Scream. In reality, I think the problem with that subgenre is less about the genre being bad and more about like there's not enough room for it all the time. Dale and Tucker versus Evil, like that's actually a better example of something where it came out even though people had done it before, but the movie's just very funny and it just works for me. So it's that thing where like I could say I don't like the genre, but if you make a good enough movie, then it will get, you know, me past that. But on you know, asked in a vacuum, I would say that in general, yeah, I'm a little over it too, because it kind of feels like a trick. It's like I'm going to make this movie that points to the fact that it's a movie and my audience is going to go, oh, wow, I know that thing. It's almost like a member berry. Like, remember in horror movies how this happens? And my movie is just going to commentate on that all the time. Yeah, that gets a little old.
I hate people.
You should just crush him with his big hand. You should just crush him with his big hand.
Just kill him.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Get it yourself. Come on, buddy. Oh, shoot.
It's entering the atmosphere. Everybody can see that. Shoot. It's entering the atmosphere. Everybody can see that somewhere. A lot of people can see that. Somewhere. A lot of people can see that.
Now just throw it back into space.
Stephen Yeun, I think, is really good in the show. He was a very good choice for the voice actor.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, just do it. Oh. That was actually pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. What if it... What is it gonna hit?
Save the world. Or at least the country. By the way, that was a small one.
That was a small one?
Yeah, you should have seen the asteroid I diverted a few years ago. By the way, that was a small one. By the way, that was a small one.
That was a small one?
You should have seen the asteroid I diverted a few years ago. The size of Texas.
Oh, God.
Crap. I gotta run, Dad.
Hey, whatever that is, your training is more important. Big picture, right?
I know, but it's Amber.
Mark, we talked about this.
Yeah, it needs to prove itself, not just reference stuff. Say something with it, use it for a reason, not for its own sake. Yeah, or like work it into the plot in some kind of way. I mean, again, part of what works with Dale and Tucker is that there's two characters. That's probably the part that works the best in Dale and Tucker, or Tucker and Dale. I always call it Dale and Tucker, and I think it's Tucker and Dale, but whatever. What works in that movie is that like the movie's doing the tropes, but the characters in the movie aren't aware. So maybe that's why it works better, is because the movie is showing you how a lot of things that you see in horror movies could have just been a misunderstanding. And these two super lovable guys that you just want them to be able to get on with their vacation and the stuff is happening is super funny. If they themselves kept going, oh, wow, I've seen this in a movie. This was just like a movie. Like that's what Scream is doing. And I do think that that gets really old. I think a lot of why Scream worked so well the first time is because it was quite novel. A lot of people think of it as the first of its type, even though it's not, because it was so novel of an idea as in mainstream movies. And now we're just in a place where like Scream came out 30 years ago. Like we've been doing this, and it just starts to be like, look, if all you have is the level 1 of that, that's probably not enough anymore. Like you need to try to do something more with the genre. But the same is true for every genre movie, right? Like if you're making a comedy, it's got to be more than just guy falls over. If you're making a, you know, any kind of genre movie, it's like you can't just do what people have done before. Like you got to try to keep it fresh. And so I think that's part of the problem with that one. Yeah, Tucker and Dale need to be straight men for it to work, right? If the whole time they just kept being like, oh wow, that reminds me of this thing I saw in a movie, you'd be like, oh, just rolling your eyes, you know?
Dad.
This one, okay?
Because like the other thing too is that those are what you're talking about are also like movies that's the whole premise, but it's also just a kind of humor. And I think Joss Whedon is a huge offender of this, like you were saying earlier. The whole movie doesn't have to be that, but that joke is in a lot of things, and Invincible is one of them. They make meta commentary all the time on superhero genre stuff. And it's like they keep having scenarios pop up where in a traditional movie it would have gone this way, but then it goes a different way, and then the characters go, oh, that's weird, that's not what I expected, because they know we're expecting certain things. So it's something that it's like you just kind of have to judge like each time.
I know I'm a little late. I know.
All right, so the reason I did that cut is because it's going to go phone to I know I'm a little late.
Crap. I know I'm a little late.
Oof. Oof.
I brought dessert. Ugh.
Yeah, you know what, Amber? We feel the same way, by the way.
Ugh. Okay. That's fair.
Like, how late, though?
Your mom's a great cook.
Right?
You
Okay,
should've
late
told me
enough to
yourself.
not be at
Oh.
Dinner. 2 hours ago.
Oh, that's not a little late, my guy.
Am I important to you, Mark?
Like, you basically just didn't
Yeah.
show up.
Of course.
Well, it really doesn't feel like it. Half the time we make plans, you're late. Or you cancel, or you just don't show, and your excuses suck.
Hold on.
Again, yeah, I think Galaxy Quest is a great example of actually how to do it wrong, but it's just so funny and good, it works anyway. Like, I don't think Galaxy Quest is actually doing anything that creative with it. It's kind of just very straightforwardly doing the, hey, remember on Star Trek how normally it goes like this, but those characters are all self-aware and they know the show. But also, the other, now that normally I would count that against it, but what they made with it is still very funny and still works for me, so I don't complain. On top of that, it also is another very old movie. It's like 30 years old, so it wasn't done to death when that movie came out. And third, I would also say that part of why I like that, how they did it, is because it's like diegetic. It's in the movie. Everyone is not only a person who has seen a lot of movies, which is what Scream did, it's people who were literally on the show, right? So it's worked into the plot. Like, they are having to, because of the plot, reenact things that they did in the show, and then the jokes are in the separation between the actors understanding what the show was about and then the people who are making the real stuff, and the disconnect is where the jokes come from. So I think that saves it a lot because it's actually a part of the movie. That was something I liked about Spider-Man No Way Home, was that they figured out a way to do member berries but work it into the plot so that it didn't feel like we were constantly just doing like, hey, remember that? It was, hey, remember that, but the plot, the whole struggle, everything that was happening was built around the fact that things were coming back. So that at least gave like some kind of room where you're like, well, there's no other way that this could have gone, so we're gonna have member berries. The really annoying ones are when it's just kind of people taking a break in a movie that has nothing to do with the member berries and then pointing to something and going, hey, remember that? A la Star Wars. The aliens was the straight man to give it a tar. Yeah, that's true. The aliens were definitely the straight men. I mean, to be fair, most of these movies have some straight men. Even in Scream, what's her face, the lead actress, is not necessarily in on the joke. She's the one who seems like she hasn't seen enough horror, although she talks about what her favorite horror movies are. There's other issues with that movie. I don't believe for a fucking second that Nev Campbell character like is watching, you know, a lot of movies. Like,
But then you pick up the sushi I like. Oh, or you leave a note in my locker, or you surprise me after class, and you're not a bad kisser. But that doesn't make it okay if you keep doing it.
there we go.
But that doesn't make it okay. Am I important to you, Mark?
Like, you basically just didn't
Yeah.
show up.
Of course.
But that doesn't make it okay if you keep doing it. And tonight was just definitely not okay. This was 3 months. This was meeting my mom.
It's just, I have these family responsibilities. I help my dad with work. It's hard making it all fit.
I have this really big penis and it's just hard making it all
I
fit.
have these family responsibilities. I help.
Sure, that's fine. Then make that choice. But then this, I'm not doing this anymore. Sure, that's fine. Then make that choice. But then this, I'm not doing this anymore. I've been down this road before, and once was enough.
Hold on.
Why?
Because I'm...
Don't tell her. I don't think you want.
Actually, I'm gonna skip straight to hold on.
I have these family... Hold on.
That doesn't make it okay if you keep doing it.
Hold on.
Why?
Because...
Don't tell her. Don't tell her. I don't think you should tell her.
What?
Don't.
I'm...
No.
Don't tell her.
I'm gonna do better. I promise. I promise.
But you're not.
True.
So.
That's very true. I'm gonna do better, but it's like you. Yeah, I don't know. You literally don't have time, brother. It's like, look, man, if you really want to be a superhero, get that locked down. Your dad has a wife and a kid. Like, you know it's possible. So just get that locked down and figure out the dating stuff after you get established. But you're trying to spin new plates in multiple places at the same time. You know, you just don't have time for it.
My whole thing is I had her back on that until she said family. He said family responsibility. She's like, well, you have to choose. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
That's you have to choose. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
agree with that.
Yeah,
That's
I don't agree with
that's
that
a little
either.
too much. My whole thing is I had her back on that until my whole thing is I had her back on that until she said family. He said family responsibility. She's like, well, you have to choose. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I
That's
don't agree with
that's
that
a little
either.
too much. You should have been a little bit more understanding with that piece.
Hey, Dad.
Mark,
You should have been a little bit more understanding with that piece.
Hey, Dad.
Mark, I'm watching the elephant rob a store downtown. He'd be perfect practice for you.
I'm not really in the mood.
Mark,
Okay, I'm coming.
that's my boy.
I thought you were gonna whisper something to me instead
You know what? I don't even need this part. No, actually, we'll start here.
That's a
That
little
either.
too much.
Oh, okay.
Agree with that.
Yeah, I
that's
don't agree with
that's
that
a little
either.
too much. That's a
That
little
either.
too much.
That music is hilarious.
Did somebody ask for butterscotch ripple?
Butterscotch Ripple sounds delicious. Oh yeah, that would be funny, Dave. What's up, Brian? As an aside, I know Shane Black likes to set this stuff during Christmas. Ooh, have mansions on stilts. Interesting. Have a lot of downhill sequences and really peculiar vehicle stunts sometimes all in one scene. That makes sense because, I mean, every director is going to have the movies that inspired him, and there's going to be those scenes that he thought were, like, just the coolest scene ever, and you start working it into your own stuff. And some guys get kind of caught on, like, they fit those things into, like, all of their movies, and then before you know it, a style is born, right? You know, you can definitely see it in, like, Michael Bay. The kind of things that he likes, he does them over and over and over.
Mommy, he got my text.
Good. Means we still have service. We're not out, are we?
Yes, it's not that simple.
We're not out, are we?
Yes, it's not that simple.
Don't.
She knows. She knows. She knows.
Wait, baby, let me out.
I was wondering, like, are those things fun to sit on? Like, if they're maintained properly, like having an apartment like that. Like, if they're maintained properly.
Like having an apartment like that.
Daddy, look! A superhero!
Oh my god, it's like an elephant man.
That's what people say.
Are you a good guy?
No. But yes, but no.
What's his name? What's his name?
He's not the worst guy.
He calls himself.
I like how there's more blood every time. Like, it
Is
just keeps
there?
getting bloodier. Oh, yeah, I'll show you. Getting bloodier. Oh, yeah, I'll show you. We'll go
Okay.
back. At the very beginning, there was no blood.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you. We'll go
Okay.
back. At the very beginning, there was no blood.
Oh yeah. No, you're
And
right.
it's
You're right.
slowly
Yeah,
been
yeah.
splattering more. I like how there's more blood every time. Like, it just keeps getting bloodier. Oh, yeah, I'll show you. We'll go back. At the very beginning, there was no blood.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
It's
You're
slowly
right.
been splattering more.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Damien's back. I thought he was banished. Because he
Damien.
he was banished. Because he
Damien.
left that.
Damien dog blood. Damien dog blood. Damien dog blood. Who is in your closet?
With the Necronomicon as his notebook.
Look at him.
7 dead, 1 alive. Your husband.
Oh, did he plant his notes?
That place in Bordeaux, the one with the chocolate.
The one with the
pastry
chocolate.
thingies.
Eclair d'Andre?
That's it. Thanks, sweetie.
Everyone says Damien's Rorschach. I just take him as Hellboy. It feels like the most obvious thing is Hellboy, but I mean, I guess he's got personality aspects of Rorschach. But I don't think Rorschach's even really all that unique. I mean, Rorschach's already just Batman, right? Correct me if I'm way off base, but I feel like the obvious reference is just, what do you call it? I also think that whoever wrote this show knows about, or wrote the comic, knows about Irredeemable. And I don't know which one's first, but Irredeemable also has a subplot where a demon is summoned to stop evil Superman by the government. So I also thought maybe it was a light reference to that. But Rorschach is pretty low on my totem pole of like people that they're riffing on. Like, I don't know, the show doesn't seem like it's that layered. It's a clever show, but it feels like if they want you to get the reference, they're going to be really like, Darkwing looks very much like Batman. It's basically what if Batman was black and had a, Silver Surfer board. So I feel like if they have Damien Darkblood, they want it, like if they wanted to do a Rorschach, they would have had a guy who probably had like a thing over his face and like had an inkblot dust, scenario going on. If they want you to think Hellboy, they're going to make a guy who looks like Hellboy. And it just seems to me like it comes across much more Hellboy to me, but I could absolutely be incorrect. Yeah, the new RPI thing, but also like the new RPI thing's been around forever. I mean, it could be Dick Tracy as much as it could be Rorschach, so I don't know.
my costume back. I don't care how torn up it is. I don't care how torn up it is. It's classified. It back. Go get it. Go get it.
There would be DNA on it.
He said that. He sounded a lot meaner.
On it.
He said that. He said that. He sounded a lot meaner when he said that.
No, exactly.
When I break up with someone.
Go get it.
There would be DNA on it.
He said that. He sounded a lot meaner when he said that.
No, exactly.
Break up with someone.
The only reason I agreed to you being a superhero was because Rex was there to take care of you.
I can take care of myself. Your father only means that we like Rex very much, and Rex
Ew, he's
I'm
a-
safe. What? But now that you're not even part of a team, Rex cheated on me. Team. Rex cheated on me. Team broke up. They're both over. It happens.
Forgive him. Forgive him.
What?
All
What?
guys make mistakes. Mistakes.
Their
Ew.
faces.
Make mistakes. Don't be a. Don't be a.
Don't be a
Ew.
what? Don't be a
Ew.
what? Don't be a
Ew.
what?
My God.
10-year-old girl.
So why should she go back to someone that she...
Bullshit on your own.
I think you're wrong.
Shit on your own.
I think you're wrong.
You shouldn't be doing it all.
One, I can do anything I want on my own. Literally, I can rearrange atoms on a molecular. I want on my own. Literally.
You shouldn't be doing it all.
One. I can do anything I want on my own. Literally, I can.
That's what that button does. I have not been able to remember what button did that in such a long time. My muscle memory finally kicked back in. There we go.
I can do anything I want on my own. Literally, I can rearrange atoms on a molecular level like it's easy. And two, I'm not even sure I want to do this. I'm not even sure I want to do this anymore.
Good. It's about time.
That includes your stupid family. Samantha!
Don't you leave that door here.
Samantha!
Don't you leave that door here.
I love that. Don't you leave that door here.
Her name... Samantha. Samantha. Her name was...
Don't you leave that door there. Well, I mean, everybody has their...
But they call her Eve at school, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess that's her middle name.
I don't know. What the
That
hell?
was like half of the joke. It's like hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
I like the color of the sky. Oh. Yeah. Interesting. It's a trap!
Yeah, for real.
You missed a few letters.
Paint costs money and you got a long-ass name. Long-ass name.
I was sad that I only got a chuckle out of them. I thought that was one of the funnier jokes in the whole show. I love that. Paint costs money. You got a long ass name. His name is really long. Invincible. It's a really long name to write in spray paint on a ceiling. That's so true. And that's a lot of spray paint. That's a very good joke. Oh. I'm so tired all the time.
Interesting. It's a trap! Yeah, for real.
You missed a few letters.
Paint costs money, you got a long-ass name. Paint cost.
You missed a few letters.
Paint costs money, you got a long-ass name.
Oh, you're that guy I saw from robbing a bank a few months ago.
My name's Titan.
Oh, you're out for revenge. What? Let's do this.
I didn't call you that.
Because I did.
You got lucky.
Sure I did.
I called you here because I need your help.
What?
I called you here. I called you here because I need your help.
Why would I help you? You're a criminal.
You know what's really funny? Most of the people, pretty much everybody who works on my channel is quite leftist leaning, you know, policy-wise. And what the girls have said some stuff in the show already that have made like the conservatives like super angry. And it's really funny because the show is super leftist. Like this conversation they're about to have is like a super left-wing conversation. So it's really weird that they're like, oh, I really like that show, but I don't like the left-wing politics. Like, you think it would be enough to make them go, well, I'm just not going to watch this show anymore. Like, this conversation about you don't know what the word criminal means. It's like, yeah, it's so weird. I don't know.
You don't even know what that word means.
Pretty sure I do.
No, you don't. I'm not a criminal. I just owed one money and now I can't get out. No, you don't. I'm not a criminal. I just owed one money and now I can't get out. So I'm a hero, helping people and taking down bad guys.
Yeah?
So help me take down my boss. They don't get any worse than him.
Who's your boss?
Machine Head.
Who's your boss?
Machine Head. Machine Head.
Machine Head.
Of course you haven't heard of him. You're a rich kid from the suburbs.
What? No?
You are.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you are. Know your shortcomings.
Like, that line right there is going to piss off some conservatives for sure.
If it's illegal and it makes money.
Superheroes are inherently fascist. Right-wingers are not entirely known for seeing nuance or subtlety. Yeah, that's true. That's true. As said by Obi.
It's his. And when people need to die to keep it that way, he's got muscle like me to take care of it.
Yeah, you're more like a big picture superhero.
Gonna be honest with you, I don't think left-wingers are good at seeing nuance or subtlety either. I think everyone's equally very bad at that.
Saving the planet, stuff like that. Why don't you give Fight Force a call?
Sure, man. Just
saving the planet, stuff like that. Why don't you give Fight Force a call?
Sure, man. Just fly away. Forget about everyone else down here. Let me show you what you don't see from up there.
What, like right now?
You got somewhere to be. Let me from up there.
What?
Hmm. Hmm. I love that.
All right, so you can't really hear that line, so we're going to back it up, but I don't want to cut them laughing out either.
It's not a party for me either, man.
Planet. She had on the trash company. Used it to drugs and stash house all in the scene.
That's pretty smart, actually.
That is pretty smart. I do like that idea. That's so funny. I just looked where I'm used to the camera being.
She had on this whole block.
I know where your family lives.
Anyone's inside at the time. Too bad.
Yeah, so that way that building was burning. Yeah.
Which one's Machine Head?
Damn. Damn. So that's why that building was burning.
Yeah.
Which one's Machine Head? Machine Head.
Come on, dude.
I'm kidding.
Isotope, let's go.
What the hell was that?
Isotope, let's go.
What the hell was that?
His pet. His pet.
Interesting.
Well, we take that machine head. You have real people with real lives. Think about that next time you fight some stupid elephant man or whatever.
Why'd you borrow money from Machine Head anyway?
Ever.
Why'd you borrow money from Machine Head anyway?
It wasn't for me.
So the boys in Invincible's actual messages are drowned by the spectacle to those eyes. Yeah, that's true. Right-wingers already have selective cognition. They have to. Fascism cannot exist with reality and facts. It's true. I just would be, you know, I would not be in a hurry to say that that's exclusively a right-wing problem, but right-wingers do it in their right-wing way, and then certain right-wingers, and then certain left-wingers do it in their left-wing ways. Everybody likes to ignore data in order to, you know, skew the world to make sense in the way that they want it to. You know, that's why I think it's just better to try to argue specific policy stuff, you know. But I'm a big black pillar, so I don't really think that there's a path to things getting better anyway.
Daddy! Daddy!
I know I can take machine. It's just a
For me.
Daddy!
I actually don't need all this.
I know I can take Machine Head. He's just a criminal with a special head. But he does have this
See you there, guy.
head. But he does have this right-hand man, isotope or something, I don't know, who can teleport him away if I'm not careful. Mom, can you pass the potatoes, please?
She's
Mom?
not okay. She's
Mom?
not okay.
Sorry.
She's
Mom?
not okay.
Sorry.
I don't know. Do you think I should help this Titan guy out?
You'd be making a huge mistake.
What? What?
Because he's using you.
I'm not an idiot, Dad. I know when someone's lying. Titan never wanted to be a criminal in the first place. He has a family. I think his daughter's sick.
Even if that was true, you're a Viltrumite, okay? You fought off an alien invasion, saved the country from an asteroid. This is beneath you.
See you there, guy.
Asteroid. This is beneath you.
Mom?
I know that sometimes people aren't who they appear to be.
Exactly. Listen to your mother. You help this guy, you're going to learn a very painful lesson.
But I also know that helping someone is never beneath you. Beneath you.
That's right.
Yeah, you go, girl.
I'm
I actually really, girl. You go, girl. I actually really like her.
Yeah, she's great. She seems to be a voice of reason. She seems to be a voice of Great. She seems to be a voice of reason.
Yeah.
Just like a good person.
Mm-hmm.
While still like maintaining like personality and like she's spicy.
Yeah.
Just like a good. Just like.
Yeah.
Just like a good person.
Mm-hmm.
A good person.
Mm-hmm.
While still like maintaining like personality and like she's spicy.
Yeah.
Snakes in my.
You better believe it, baby. Who wants a beer?
There are no alcohol beverages in Guardian headquarters. There were no alcohol beverages in Guardian headquarters. The first thing I fixed was done. I had to throw out whatever scanner or computer was messed with. Oh no! I hope that wasn't your girlfriend, robot.
He's really gonna come back to bite you in the butt when he finishes whatever he's doing.
That is so interesting. With Monster Girl, I was really thinking about that. So they offer her alcohol, and she's like, "I'm 25." The thing is, though, is that the alcohol laws aren't necessarily because of your like, you know, adult or not mentality. They're because of your body's ability to imbibe the alcohol. And so even though you're 25, if your body is like that of a 10-year-old girl, it's actually still going to do a lot more damage to you and your brain as a 10-year-old, you know, body than it would. So it's interesting thinking about like that concept. It's like, it's just, you know, we have that law set up in a world where nobody in real life ages backwards, so it just doesn't come up. So if someone's 21, then we know that their, you know, body is going to be much more adept at handling the alcohol. So it's just a really interesting like kind of conundrum of like, yeah, you keep getting younger, but like, yeah, it's not good for people under a certain age. I mean, you know, if she's too short, she still, I don't care if you're 25, you still can't ride certain roller coasters because you'll fall out, you know, so it's really interesting. Yeah, law has to ignore the margins, otherwise there'd be 10 million more laws, you know.
Inner ear.
Ooh, what the hell?
Nothing like an ice cold brew after you. Nothing like an ice cold brew after you crawled through someone's
Inner ear.
Ooh, what? Ooh, what the hell?
24 civilians are in the hospital right now. Because we fought like 6 individual assholes instead of a team.
I like Black Samson a lot.
Pull up the fight.
Dang.
Rex. You see this, Rex? This right here?
I know what a bus looks like.
This is where you messed up.
What a bus looks like.
This is where you messed up. You and Monster Girl both so caught up in your own little prize fights that you let this entire bus of civilians crash. Kids on me. What were we supposed to do? You pop the tools on the bus, blow that concrete to grow to slow it down, so Monster Girl can stop it and save lives.
Over here, the parents often allow a beer every once in a while for the kids, depending on level of responsibility. I mean, I don't think a beer every once in a while is necessarily going to like screw up your brain. But you know, if you wanted to like drink, the biggest issue I think with a kid, more so than necessarily is it a good idea for them to drink. Because honestly, I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to drink or do any kind of drugs, but we're gonna do them anyway. It's more about just like, is it going to do some kind of irreparable damage? And so if you're 25 and you're like, yeah, you know, I like to go get some cocktails with the friends, it's like, well, you're probably going to have a lot harsher of a time with the alcohol consumption than your, you know, friends who have normal bodies. So it's just a funny kind of thing to think about. Like if I was Monster Girl, I'd be like, I don't think I should drink because I'm worried about what it will do to my weird brain, you know? But we're also dealing with her having a, what do you call it? It's a curse that she's dealing with too, so it's like already something not super scientific, so it'd be really hard to tell what the actual implications on her body were.
What you were supposed to do. Supposed to duplicate. Next time we're in a situation, I want you to think about containment. If you had cloned the perimeter around King Lizard here, you could have held him back while Shrinky Ray took care of the snake gunner, whatever the hell he called it.
Snake Raider. What is Snake Raider?
No, forget this. We did our best, and we won.
I never noticed how she like physically shrank.
What the hell he called it?
Snake Raider. What is...
Yeah, she shrank. They always talk about people shrinking when it's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she like literally physically shrinks. That's cool.
He called it his Snake-erator.
His Snake-erator.
No, forget this. We did our best, and we won. So, whatever. You ain't have powers over me. Say that one more time, son. What?
That's also one of my favorite lines in the entire show, I think, is when he's like, yeah, Dad, blah, 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 something, you lost your powers. And he's like, what does he say? He says something about like, yeah, say something like that again. Or, you know, are you going to keep talking like that, or am I going to have to beat your ass until all you want to do is call me Dad again? I was like, okay, that's a good-ass line.
Grandpa?
Okay, stop. He's not wrong, Rex. Stop.
Why? Forget your hearing aid, Grandpa?
Okay. He's not wrong,
Which, good on Duplicate.
Rex.
Fuck this.
Duplicate's really funny because it's like, she's a good character, but I just don't think she's Guardians of the Globe power level. Like, okay, you can split into people, but it seems like she's still just a bunch of normal people. That doesn't seem very useful.
Rex's ego.
Brief, everyone. As usual, I'll be the only person who actually sacrificed something, since I'm now a week younger than I was yesterday.
Yeah, we remember.
Some of them.
Can you believe? Can you believe these punks?
That's an abrupt edit, but we don't need that whole conversation.
Some of them.
We need to establish that they're not working as a team, because that's going to get fixed in episode 8. And we need to establish that Robot has got his eye, especially on Monster Girl. And those are the kind of important bits that come out of that scene.
He's got something going on, and I don't know what it is.
Lives is beneath him.
Other people save lives. Mark saves millions. He needs to think big, and you're not helping.
I'm not helping.
You don't understand the choices we have to make. You're not a superhero.
When you first,
You're not a superhero.
when you first came here, you didn't know anything. You didn't know anything.
I don't want that to be quite so short.
You didn't know anything about humans or our society or what was important to us.
And?
I taught you all that. I showed you how to be a hero here in front of you. I taught you all that. I showed you how to be a hero here. And suddenly you think I can't. And suddenly you think I can't do that for Mark?
That's not what I meant. I just...
Damn.
Mm-hmm. And suddenly you think I can't do that for Mark? Do that for Mark?
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mark is putting his trust in someone he shouldn't. Instead of listening to me. To us. Even when we disagree. Instead of listening to me. To us. Instead of listening to me. To us. Even when we disagree. Hero. He's only been a hero for a few months. He thinks he knows everything. I just don't want him to make a choice he'll regret.
Neither do I.
This is all going so quickly. I didn't think it'd be this difficult. I didn't think it'd be this difficult.
Well, that sucked. This superhero thing is destroying my GPA.
Like you'll ever need to find Mongolia on a...
Well, that sucked. This superhero thing is destroying my GPA.
Like you'll ever need to find Mongolia on a map.
I know, right?
No, you do need to know that. I'm not kidding. It's really important that you can find places from the air.
It's a very good point. I would be atrocious at this. But having said that, you know, he's got a phone. I would get a super suit with pockets, and I would have a GPS with me on my phone.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You okay?
Yep, down.
You ever read about those kids who get kicked out of the house at 16 and wish it was you?
No. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes. No, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. Mark.
Hey, you.
Slow down, Tiger. You're still on my shit list. Mark.
Hey, you.
Slow down, Tiger. You're still on my shit list. You're coming tonight, right? Hey, Eve. You're coming tonight.
Of course I'm coming.
Do not stand me up on this, okay?
Of course I'm coming.
Do not stand me up on this, okay? It won't only count me counting on you this time. Mark volunteered to help me at the Battle Community Center.
Yeah, if Superman doesn't just know where everything is based on, you know, eyesight, then yeah, you definitely would need ways. Now, having said that, Superman and some other heroes are so fast. You know, if I had the powers that the Flash had, I probably wouldn't need a GPS because you could probably just kind of like go to the general area and then just run around until you find it. And by the time you do, it still would only be a few seconds, you know? So there's that.
Downtown. We do dinner twice a week, right? I'm hungry. I'm impressed. Do not be. He owes me. That feels like my second home. I used to hang there after school till my mom was done working.
All right, I want that line because they're going to say it again with the kid.
Backwell's like my second home. I used to hang there after school till my mom was done working. Changed my life.
It's on...
Life.
It's on 3rd Street, right? Little brick building?
Yeah, 7 p.m.
Oh, man, gotta run. I told my mom I'd help with an open house. I'll see you there. Oh, man, gotta run. I told my mom I'd help with an open house. Bye, Eve. I'll see you there. Bye, Eve.
You want to come tonight? We could use the help.
Bye, Eve.
You want to come tonight? We could use the help.
I wish I could, but
Too busy saving the world? Not anymore, actually. No excuse then. You and Mark are pretty close. Has he been acting weird?
Okay, I guess we don't need this part. We'll just use this. You and Mark are pretty close.
not anymore.
What do you mean? No excuse then. You and Mark are pretty close. Has he been acting weird lately?
What do you mean?
Has he been acting weird lately?
What do you mean?
He's late all the time, or doesn't show, and then lies about why. At least I think he's lying. I don't know if I can deal with it much longer. Guys are dicks. Mark's one of the good ones. Yeah, his time management is awful.
But he's super into you. Yeah, his time management is awful. but he's super into you. You're all he talks about.
Really?
Well, thanks for that. See you tonight? Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. See you tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that was nice.
Guaranteed to.
Well, that was nice.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice.
Guaranteed to find.
It seems like she. It seems like she knows that she is a superhero. But she is a superhero.
Bomb-proof or something. There's a whole
I don't
team
really
of
know.
ex-military
I don't know
assholes.
Favorite character in Invincible is tough, man. No, it's not Cecil. I think Cecil is the shit. I like a lot of other characters a lot, though. I really like Rex. I really like Donald. I really like Titan. You know, I mean, there's a lot of most of the characters. I think that's the best aspect of the show is that the cast is just really good. Like everyone's really good. Mark is even good for being so vanilla. Like he's gonna have to be vanilla because he's the lead. But I think Steven Yeun brings a pain to him that I really like. That I really buy. One of my favorite Mark moments is when he's telling his dad to hit him in I think episode 2, saying he's ready, and he's like really emotional about it. And I think Steven Yeun like really sells the emotion. Like Mark is really in some turmoil, but overall, like obviously Mark is annoying like a lot. Like Mark and Cora have a lot of crossover, and the things that annoy me about one of them annoys me about the other one. But yeah, I think Cecil is easily my favorite. I think he's the best version of a what do you call it, of a Nick Fury that we've ever had. We're getting there. I'm almost done. Mostly just have that big battle, which takes a very long time.
Finding
past the dude push through.
How much time do I have left on this episode? 16 minutes. Not too shabby.
Bomb-proof or something. There's a whole team of ex-military assholes control the place. Acting like shit too.
Which is why you need me.
Okay. I'm not sleeping.
Can't the teleporter guy just pull machine head out once we get... Can't the teleporter guy just pull machine head out once we get close?
I took care of Isotope.
How?
He's got a girl he sees a couple of times a week. I paid her extra to keep him there all evening.
What? Oh, okay. So we break into the penthouse and grab machine head. Then what?
What you got for answering keep a guy like him off the street?
I could take him to the Global Defense Agency.
See? Doing good already.
I could take penthouse and grab machine head. I could take him to the Global Defense Agency.
See? Doing good already, hero.
I got a question. Do you guys trust... Do you guys trust Titan post this episode? Because the girls completely turned on him and were like, oh, he was evil the whole time. And I'm like, I don't know if I interpret it that way. I do think, yes, he screwed over Mark, and I think he used him. But it wouldn't be ridiculous that a guy who works for a bad guy sees an opportunity to not only get rid of the bad guy, but not leave a power vacuum open and just fill that space and then actually use it for some good. You know, this is revolutionary work, basically. If you know, he's automatically a bad guy because of what he did, then basically every revolution was bad. And so it's interesting. Like, I think that's one thing I like about those shows. I think the writing is a little better than just very obvious, like, this is the thing, and this is the thing, and this is the thing. Really put together the series in terms of voice acting and style. Yeah, for sure. I think he did a good job. J.K. Simmons is very good in his delivery. I also agree. I mean, J.K. Simmons, I mean, he's just incredible. He's just one of the finest actors of all time, in my opinion. Trying to read another meaning into his dialogue, a little tricky for an actor to walk that line. The other thing that's impressive is how much his acting comes through with his voiceover. Like, he is they're currently watching Korra and this, and he's Tenzin in Korra, and he's Omni-Man in this, and he's totally different. Not only like the energy and like how the person is, but his voice is different. Like, I don't think Tenzin sounds very much like Omni-Man. Like, you can kind of tell once you know, but they don't, like, he uses a very different timbre in his voice for both characters, and I think that's fucking awesome. There's certain voice actors who get a lot of work, like for instance Patrick Warburton. He gets a lot of work because people want that voice. Like, you don't hire him unless you want someone who sounds like Patrick Warburton, and Patrick doesn't really do voices. Like, every character, like Brock Samson sounds exactly the same as Kronk, you know, from Emperor's New Groove.
That was your daughter back at Beckwell Community Center, right? What's her name?
Fiona.
You guys go there often?
That's her second home.
That was your daughter back at Beckwell Community Center, right? What's her name? Right?
Fiona.
You guys go there often?
That's her second home.
So that's why I wanted to keep the part where Amber says it was like a second home to her, because, you know, tie these little strings together. In Counterpart, where you had to play two very different versions. Yeah, I don't even know of that. That's interesting. Yeah, I think the first thing I ever, you know, probably the same for a lot of people, the first thing I saw him in that made me go, oh, this guy's like someone to pay attention to, was Whiplash. Like, I had seen him in a lot of things before that, and he was always good, but that was the first time I was like, okay, this guy's like a cut above.
Okay, I'm in. We'll have to make it quick. The building looks creepy, though.
I almost forgot about this guy. People think Andrew Wilson.
I almost forgot how good I look.
This show does like its montages. There's like a montage in like every episode. And they almost exclusively play Run the Jewels when they have the Mahler twins on screen, which is funny because Run the Jewels is like maybe my favorite rap group.
Welcome to the world of the living, clone. Don't start. I'm the original. The process was a success.
I never understand why you do that.
Welcome to the world of the living, clone. I'm the original. The process was a success.
I'll never understand why you do that.
Welcome to the world of the living, clone.
I'll never understand.
Clone.
I'll never understand why you do that.
Counterpart was a sci-fi show about a Cold War we are having with a parallel dimension that is somewhat different than ours. That's an awesome idea. That sounds fucking sick. That's a very good idea. A civil war, but not actually taking place on one land's soil, taking place in two alternate dimensions, and we're at war with ourselves, but from another dimension. I mean, I guess to be fair, it's not the most original idea. That's kind of what happens in Injustice, but still, that's a great idea, though. That's a cool show concept. I'm on the fence about Titan. He seems like an anti-hero-like character hiding behind good intentions. I completely agree. I think that's what's going on with him. I think that he's like an anti-hero. He won't be like a hero and like a really goody two-shoes kind of guy. And we've seen that. Like, you know, he really did Mark dirty for sure. But I don't know. It's interesting because I also could see him becoming more corrupted and turning into like a Fisk type of like Kingpin type of character long-term and being like a long-term villain for Mark. But in the meantime, it feels like, you know, it's especially because we never go back to it. It doesn't mean we never will, but if we never go back to it, I'm kind of left with thinking that he probably, you know, wasn't burning people's houses down to collect the insurance money and then making them just be homeless, you know? Like, I feel like he probably is actually going to help out, you know, the hood.
Tissue growth.
Stop, please. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to fight.
Not the replication chamber, idiot!
As I was trying to say, I need your expertise in tissue growth and DNA replication. I'll make it worth your... I'll make it worth your while. I'll make it worth your while.
See, I knew he was like gonna use him for whatever cloning device he had.
But I want to know what he's going to then do with the clones. But I want to know what he's going to then do with the clones.
Right? Like a whole army or...
Pick up a few things for dinner.
But
I was
evil.
thinking some
Like evil twins.
that restaurant in Rome, and maybe that wine from Provence, the rosé. Yeah. Thanks, sweetie. Love you. Thanks, sweetie. Love you.
She's trying to buy herself time. Sonic Boom.
I have watched all of season 1. The girls have seen up through episode 7. I'm all the way caught up. I've seen all of season 1, Adam Eve, and episode 2-1 from the same show. Random question is, What Dreams May Come a film you guys have considered watching? No, I just don't think it's very good.
Just making a mess.
I was about to say, he's gonna know.
What am I doing?
What is that? What is that? What is that?
The suit.
I'm scared.
I'm scared too.
I'm scared for her.
What the
I feel like the oh oh God. Oh God.
He like cannonballed through the window.
He really did.
Machine head.
Geronimo!
Get up. We're taking you. Hey, it's over. You're way out of your league.
Carry the 2. Oh, hello, Invincible.
Carry the 2. He's like unbelievably genius smart, and he's out loud having to say, carry the 2. That's kind of funny. The guy could bury it inside a mountain, but decides to put it in the air vent in his own house. I could not agree more. My only theory on why he keeps it in the house in such an easy to find place, to be honest, is because he has faith, like, in his own abilities to be able to hear and catch anyone who tries to come into the house to probe. And if he leaves it somewhere far away, then, you know, Cecil seems to see everything and could send an extraction team to try to go and find the thing. If he was like the only superpowered person in the world, then that would make sense. But like Cecil and his, you know, spook agency seems like they have almost more, like they almost seem superhuman with the stuff they can do using tech. And then he also has access to a lot of actual superheroes, so it does seem like keeping it close would be probably safer than sending it somewhere far away that you can't keep an eye on, is my best guess. But it does seem kind of ridiculous that all this time he's never thought to just go put it in the bottom of the ocean, you know, something like that. It is kind of a goofy slip up.
Titan. Awesome. You're right. You're so strong and tough. You're right. You're so strong and tough. And you fly all over the goddamn place. It's amazing. Thanks. You know a lot about me. I also know exactly when you and this giant pile of shit would walk in here and ruin my doors. Also, Italian maple, by the way. See the thing. See, this is what happens when your head's a fucking rock. You take care of him. I know what. See, this is what happens when your head's a fucking rock. See, this is what happens when your head's a fucking rock.
That didn't work.
It's a fucking See, this is what happens when your head's a fucking rock. The fucking rock.
You said you took care of him. I know what I said.
I like that line too. I like most of Titan's dialogue. It's probably some of the best dialogue in the whole show. This is some old bullshit. Like he has like a lot of good jokes. He has a lot of good points, and then I like this. This is a good joke line of, yeah, you said you took care of him. I know what I said.
This little upgrade shows me all kinds of possibilities, which is how I know it's not worth explaining to you two morons what quantum probabilities are. But it doesn't matter. You're so smart. Invincible's right. I'm out of my league. Except Invincible abilities are. But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter.
You're so smart.
I said, Invincible's right. I'm out of my league. Except I've got money.
Oh, dang. So he's got a whole army of henchmen on his payroll.
You have no idea.
Yikes. Yikes.
Hey, Eve. Hey, Eve. You made it. Come on, I'll show you around. Chicken.
Dumb random question. Do you think Mark Season 2 could defeat Homelander? No, I don't. I don't think even Omni-Man could beat Homelander. Like, I think we have seen entirely one time in all of the boys' 3 seasons that Homelander has even bled. And it was from someone who was, like, relatively equi-powerful. Now, having said that, I don't like to get into these conversations about which power level hero could beat what power level hero, whatever, because, like, it's just decided by the artist or the writers who wins, and they almost always go with the underdog. So if someone, you know, like Superman is preposterously more powerful than Batman. Like, it is shocking how much more powerful than Batman he is. And every time I've ever seen those two fight, Batman wins, right? And same thing with, like, who's faster. Like, depending on the writer, some writers have it where it is, like, in stone that the Flash is definitely faster than Superman. But then I've also seen him in other things where Superman's faster than the Flash. So it's just, you know, it's so arbitrary because it's all fiction. Everybody, even within their own shows, isn't consistent. You know, you'll see, even the show, I guarantee I could find a moment where Mark seems to easily handle one problem, and then something else that shouldn't be as hard of a problem is something he is, like, struggling with because the scene needed him to struggle in that moment. So it's, you know, it's really just kind of an act of futility. But if I'm going to not be the fun police, then I would argue that from what I've seen so far, it seems like Homelander is much stronger than the Viltrumites. He also has a better power suite. Like, they don't have laser eyes, and I think that matters. But we also don't know, you know, like, there's just not enough data. Like, would the laser eyes bounce off of them, or would he fuck them up? Like, it's hard to say, you know. But like I said, we do see those guys take a lot more damage in the show than we do with Homelander. In an even match, I'd always lay money on the psychopath. I mean, it's not even just that they're... the problem is they're both psychopaths, though. I mean, between... not Mark, but Omni-Man versus Homelander. I think Mark, it's not even close. I think Homelander would fucking ruin Mark. Now, Mark probably wouldn't die because they've got the whole it's impossible to kill their cells thing. But as far as, like, you know, at the end of a 3-round match, who would win? I think Homelander takes it all day. But even against Omni-Man, I think Homelander beats him. I think Omni-Man holds his own, but I still think he's going to get beat up. Like, even the fight in the episode 1, like when Omni-Man fights the Guardians of the Globe, I think Homelander smokes those guys without taking any damage from what we've seen in his show with his variants, or the enemies he's had to fight. And those guys almost killed Omni-Man. I think that if the Guardians of the Globe, like as they're shown in the show, were in the 7, and it was Homelander having to take out, you know, Fishman and, you know, Wonder Woman person and all that, I think he murders all of them, and it's not even close. So that's my vibe. That's my feeling on it.
Mashed potatoes, salad, minestrone on the stove, but we'll need it in the pot soon. It's nothing fancy, but it's healthy.
Hey, my parents cook exclusively with a microwave. This is a treat. Want to
That boy's got about 15 minutes until his ass is on the curb.
And since I order from Factor, I also exclusively eat out of the microwave these days, and you can too. With promo code, I don't have one, but
Permanently.
I should get a Factor sponsorship. I use them.
You look like you're good at chopping things.
How'd you know?
Oh god, he's not making it, dude.
He's not making it, dude.
Oh god, he's not making it, dude.
You know what I just realized? I was wondering why this person looked familiar. Isn't that the person that Red Rush ties up in episode 1? Red Rush made, like, quick work of this person. That's really funny. I didn't even think about that. All right, so 60% of y'all trust Titan. Word. And if anyone thinks that Mark would win, I would like to hear what their, like, you know, their argument is for that. Where can I see how long? Oh, 2 hours and 22 minutes. Okay, not bad.
Not the maple door. Not the maple doors. Not the maple floors or the maple desk. Oh god. Ooh. Like a lava man.
Lava electricity.
Ooh, it's like a lava man.
Lava electricity. Oh! Electricity. Oh!
What? Damn.
Get hit from all angles.
Sad. Just. Sad. Just.
Oh.
So yeah, Viltrumite genes, but again, the Viltrumites are, what do you call it? They're what's the word I'm looking for? Their cells are indestructible, but we're watching Mark get his candy ass handed to him. And like I said, we never see anybody do that to Homelander. Like, the most he's ever gotten his ass kicked, it wasn't even that much. He, like, barely got his ass. Like, he barely lost that fight, you know? And he got 3v1'd. And so, I don't know. I have a hard time believing. But like I said, it's just, ultimately, it's all fucking super arbitrary. Like, it's just whoever the writer chooses. I could write 2 stories and do my best to make it compelling that, oh, I see why Mark won, and then do another one where it's like, oh, I see why Homelander won, and I feel like you can make it, you know, believable either way. Like I said, it's what they do with Batman. You know, whenever they do a, you know, oh, Batman versus Superman, it's like, obviously it's going to be Batman if you pick a winner. 9 times out of 10 when comic books do the famous franchise hero versus famous franchise hero, they normally either draw or they come to an agreement. A lot of times what they'll do is it's like, oh, I thought you were poisoning the well. No, I thought you were poisoning the well. Oh, actually it was Lex Luthor. Okay, well, never mind. Let's team up. And they just take turns, you know, showing off basically to each other, just to get fans hyped. But if you want to pick someone to win, no one's ever going to choose Superman because it'd be too fucking obvious. It'd be so boring. It's like, yeah, Superman walks up, lasers Batman in half instantly, and then the game's over. So it's like, you know, if you're going to make that storyline interesting, it has to be Batman winning. So that's normally kind of the obvious way to go. So if I was a writer, I probably would have Mark win because I think it is more obvious that Homelander wins. Like I said, Mark is getting his ass kicked all of the time.
His dad's about to go in there.
I'm gonna grind you up and use you to pave my driveway.
The auto-tune is so... His dad's about to go in there.
I'm gonna grind you up and use you to pave my driveway. Driveway.
The auto-tune is so hard to get past.
Oh, wow. How interesting. Look how simple these effects are. They don't even map to anything. That's really interesting. It looks like they just took like a really basic, like pen tool and turned down the opacity and just did like white ovals and then did another or probably did the first pass, which was like light blue ovals, real big, and then did a second pass on top of that layer with like white on top of it. And look, they don't even map the mouth very well. It works because it's so fast, but it's interesting to see like a high level cartoon show that has like pretty basic like MS Paint quality effect right here. Interesting. Yeah, that's another good point about Titan as well, is that it's like he doesn't have the privilege to be as altruistic as other characters do. Mark doesn't have to make these choices. He doesn't have these decisions to make because of his socioeconomic background. So Mark could, you know, easily say, oh, I would never do that. But it's like, yeah, you never have to. Like, you know, you don't have, first off, a kid, a family. Second of all, you're not being taken advantage of, and you're strong enough that if anyone tried to, you could probably fuck them up. So yeah, it's interesting. My argument is I personally don't think Homelander's beams would be able to do. That's the thing, though. We just don't know. Like, I don't have any evidence to support that his beams would hurt them as much as you don't have any evidence that they couldn't hurt him. Mark is also getting that's the other thing too. We don't understand necessarily why Mark is getting stronger. Like, it makes sense that Mark gets more skilled and that he gets more talented, but like, do Viltrumites' bodies physically take less punishment as time goes on? I don't know. If they do, then how? The girls actually brought it up. I think it was either the girls or it was someone else I was watching reacting to this, and someone has the theory that it's like Saiyans. I think it was the girls because they don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z, and that was the funny part, is that they were describing Saiyans. They were like, maybe every time he gets beat up, they heal back faster or like stronger, and so they get stronger the more they get their ass kicked, and that's why she thinks that maybe Homelander let him get beat up in the scene is so that he would come back stronger. And it's like, that's a good theory, but no one ever like ratifies that. And on top of that, it's also just funny that like you just described Vegeta, and that's really funny without having watched it. Like, yep, that's a thing. So is it confirmed somewhere that Viltrumites are Saiyans? Because I've never noticed anyone say that in the show. In the comics? Okay, well, yeah, I'm not going off the comics. Like, that's a different question. Like, would Mark from the comics beat Homelander? Well, I don't know, because I haven't read either comic.
He's gonna get mad.
I'm trying to just go off of the information that I've been given in the TV shows. So it's kind of an unfair question to ask, like, who would win, but then you're referencing source material that I don't have access to. Like, we're talking about the show.
He's gonna get mad, and... Yeah. He's gonna be pissed. pissed.
You guys are fucking dead! You guys are fucking dead!
Oh!
I really like this part too. Again, this is a good example. That line delivery is why it was so good to have Steven Yeun. I think he nails, like, when Mark gets really upset and stressed out, I think he brings an intensity to his voice acting work in this show that it is very, very, I'm very happy to have it. I'm going to open a window. It's actually getting kind of hot in here. Well, you don't even have to write a better character necessarily for whoever wins. It's just you have to decide, you know, and the writer's just going to choose somebody to win, you know. Good point. Plot inconsistencies happen often. That's the other thing too, right? That's totally true. Like, plot inconsistencies happen all of the time in shows. And comics and I mean, just in all media. I mean, even live action stuff, you have this all the time where it's like, wait a second, if you could do this earlier, then why can't you do this? Like, does that thing seem heavier? And it's like, oh, well, that was during a scene that the plot needed him to be able to push that thing. But then this is a scene where the plot needs him to be stuck under thing. I mean, we've seen that all the time in the MCU. This happens all the time with their heroes. They're always like easily throwing a car in one scene, but then later there's a car crushing them and they're like, oh, I'm stuck. And it's like, wait a fucking second. Like, which one is it, dude? Like, what's going on? I'll be right back. Actually, I'll also be right back. I'm gonna go get some water. There's also things to think about in terms of, like, I think it was a bad idea to have Thanos beat up the Hulk, because if you have a character whose only thing is that they're really strong and then someone else is stronger, there's like, that person sucks now. Like, what's the point? The Boys does a good job of talking about, like, if you have a guy who's on the superhero team and his only power is that he's extremely fast and someone else is faster, nobody wants the Justice League to have the second fastest man in the world, right? So I think it's important to make sure that no one is faster than the Flash and no one is stronger than the Hulk, because those are two heroes that kind of have one thing going for them.
Because you're fucking dead!
Oh! Oh! Wow.
He was not playing. Go off, Mark.
Because his he cares about that guy's daughter.
Yeah. And family and...
Next!
Maybe it's just in them. They just have like a...
Hello.
Maybe it's just in them. They just have like a...
Hello. Ew, I hate that.
Little kitty meow. Where are you? Killing people.
Getting crushed.
Little kitty meow.
Little kitty meow.
Little kitty meow. Where are you? Where are you? Killing people.
Getting crushed.
Oh, about to crash. But overall, I think the real deciding factors that decide between these fictional guys when they write is who would be a interesting matchup, and then who would make the most sense, or not make the most sense, but like who would be the more compelling person to win. And I think you'll notice that like every writer will try to go for the more interesting person to win, and the one with the less obvious pathway to winning. And that's why they always have to design Batman to be this, like, you see, he has all this information on Superman, so he knows all these little weak points and blah, 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 because it's like, yeah, like the obvious, like any 8-year-old could explain how Superman won. He just flies up, punches a hole through his chest, and it's done. So the more interesting person is how do we get Batman to beat someone like Superman?
Little kitty. Little kitty meow. Where are you? Killing people.
Getting crushed.
I thought that guy's head got... I thought that guy's head got smashed.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
foot to the
bad.
face, foot
Oh,
to the face.
God. God. God.
Dang.
Oh. 10 out of 10. You guys are worth it.
That's bad.
Wait, I'm getting something here. What?
Oh no.
It depends on the version of Homelander and Invincible. Like, are we talking about Homelander in the final season, Invincible where he currently is, or both in their prime? Yeah, that's another good point. That's a fair point. What's up, Maple? Oh, he definitely seemed like he was gonna die. I agree. It did seem like that. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I guess I would have to say, like, you know, I only have the shows to go off of, so I would have to go with... Having said that, though, is there a difference between season 1 and season 3 Homelander? I don't feel like he gets appreciably different. I feel like he's pretty much the same power level and guy the whole time.
Cecil got an anonymous call.
Oh, his dad called. Oh, his dad called.
We'll take it from here. We'll take it from here.
Yeah, Kitty Von Meow Meow is also a really serious business person.
I just feel like nobody's off limits. You know, like
right.
Monster Girl is in trouble.
That's kind of, I don't know. Oh, it's interesting. Like, I don't mind that Robot has an affinity for Monster Girl, but if it does get in the way of the fight where he's like only trying to make sure Monster Girl is safe, that's problematic.
Oh crap.
oh shoot. Shoot. Ooh.
Oh dang.
Oh.
Do I get paid for this gig? Yeah, I get paid by YouTube.
Hot dang. Who's gonna melt him? Next load, that's
Who's gonna melt him? Explode, that's... Did nothing. Did nothing.
Also, gosh, the new Guardians of the Globe seem like they are so much weaker than the old ones. It's crazy that out of everyone in the tryouts, this was the best that they could come up with. It is kind of nutty how it's like the top 1% superheroes are like 20 times stronger than like the top 10%, you know? It's really funny what a extremely like narrow sharp pyramid it is.
Dang. I feel like it's like was that here or not?
As far as not getting paid enough, it's like it's hard, man. It's like, yeah, obviously you always want to make more. You want your stuff to perform better. But on the flip side, like I've worked at Walmart before. I've worked flipping burgers. I've done Burger King. I was in the National Guard. It's like every other job I've ever had was substantially more like labor intensive. This is hard because I'm like having managerial duties, so there's just a lot that's like everything's on my shoulders. I have to make good decisions or it costs everybody money. I have to keep a certain flow. I work a lot of days out of the week, but as you've seen, I've also been sitting here working for 2 hours and 45 minutes on my butt. And I mean, this is one of like 2 jobs I've ever had that I could even do sitting down. So it's hard to say, you know. It's like you have to keep perspective. What do you mean by same goes for villains? 1, Thanos stops them all. New Guardians of the Globe is like Kirkman's commenting on the uselessness of the Teen Titans. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, for sure. Not trying to be rude. I find it interesting. I'm doing a crappy job for not much money, and you know, well, that's what I'm saying, right? Exactly. It's like, you know, yeah, I think the thing that makes YouTubers always feel like they're being underpaid is like we know what other people who do similar work are getting paid, and it's a lot more. So you have this feeling of like, that's a gulf between my pay rate and that person's pay rate. So how do I close the gap? So you have that feeling. But if I compare it to the jobs I've had, like my most recent job was I was a DoorDash driver, and like I was making, I don't know how I even did it. Like thinking about like what my costs were versus what I was making. So, you know, if I keep perspective like that, it's like the type of work I do. I work more than I have worked before, but like as far as hours. But back in the day, working at, you know, an 8-hour shift at McDonald's, like that was much more physically grueling than this is, you know. And at least this is mildly creative, right? It's not the most creative thing I've ever done. For that, check out video essays. But working at McDonald's, it's like, it's also just like soul stealing because you're just like so fucking bored, you know? It's not interesting work you're doing. And you're on your feet the whole time. There's just a lot of elements.
As good as they should be.
I was promised this world offered worthy opponents. Oh, how you disappoint. Killing you is an act. Killing you is an act.
Is that his dad up there?
See.
Is that his dad up there?
See.
I didn't see him.
Killing.
Did nothing.
Killing you is an act. Killing you is an act.
Is that his dad up there?
See.
Did nothing.
Killing you is an act.
Is that his dad up there?
See.
I didn't see him.
Hey, asshole!
Yeah, the 1% on top heroes and villains, yeah. Oh, yeah, the tedium is probably the worst part of, like, reaction videos. The video essays are a lot more fun to make, but they're a lot harder to get people to watch. By far, all right, the hardest part of reaction videos is getting started. It's getting a fan base and figuring out your style and figuring out your editing and all of these things. Like, that part is hard. Once you get there, though, then it's kind of, to an extent, coasting, and it's tedious. It is extremely tedious, and that's one thing that's nice about doing shows versus, like, whole-ass movies. For Memorial Day or Veterans Day, whatever's coming up on the 11th, we're going to drop. Maple watched Saving Private Ryan, and I am dreading that edit because it's like a 3-hour movie. So the amount of time it took me to do this one, it's going to take me about 3 times as long, and it's just like, fuck me. It's a lot. Very tedious. Actually, I got a better idea.
Samson, retreat.
That is a very anime shot that we don't get a lot in the show. That's interesting. Little speed lines.
Oh no.
All right, I want to think about this different.
Invincible! Black Samson. Retreat.
Oh no.
There we go. I like that better.
Black Samson, retreat.
Oh no. Oh! Oh!
They're all gonna.
Oh, Michael Dorn. Yeah, it does sound like him. You're right. I wanted to notice if no one said anything, but you're right. It does sound just like him. That's fun. And thanks, Debbie. I appreciate you.
They're all gonna. They're all gonna. They're all gonna get killed then. They're all gonna get killed then.
Pathetic child.
By this cat. By this cat. Cat.
He's like a evil Thundercat.
Like an evil Thundercat.
Evil Thundercat.
Oh my god!
Oh no. Oh my god, this is almost as bad.
Indeed.
Bad.
Indeed.
As the first episode.
Yeah.
The,
Is Mark actually? Yeah. Yeah. Is Mark? Mark actually? Mark actually dead?
There's no way.
I've been trying to read these letters. I assume they were random, but I was curious if it actually spelled something. For a minute, I thought it was teamwork because there was a T, an A, an R, a K, but there's a P, oh, and an E. But there's a H and a P that don't fit, so I guess they're just random. But I thought he literally threw letters that said teamwork, which would have been really funny.
There's no way.
Hey, Maple, good to have you back.
The fuck was all that? The fuck was all that?
them working as a team.
Okay, here we go. Oh.
Yeah.
It would have been really cool if Mark does die, and then like the show just switches focus to the new Guardians of the Globe. That would have been awesome. Yeah. In this universe, life is quite cheap. That's something I'll definitely give him credit for, because you actually do feel concerned when like problems happen, because you know that people do die in this universe. It's one of the things about Avatar. It's very good, but you just always expect that even the bad guys aren't gonna die. I mean, you can probably name like 5 people you see die on screen in Avatar, like all together. It's basically like Zhao dies on screen, Jet dies on screen. I mean, even the Fire Lord doesn't die, right? Like, it's just, you know, so there is something about the stakes that make it always feel very low stakes. It's hard to, you know, be too concerned about anyone, because you're like, no one really dies. Even the bad guys don't die. But in this universe, life is fucking cheap. So it does get you into a spot where when Mark is in trouble, you're like, I don't know. I don't know. What a crazy thing to say. I thought this guy was lava, but the more people interact with him, the more it seems like he's not. Like, how did she do this and not burn herself to a crisp?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Uses powers against him.
I thought the Venture Bros had short lifespans. Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely. The Venture Bros has got one of the cheapest. Life is probably some of the cheapest in Venture Brothers. Well, and I'm not saying Avatar should have done it differently. Sorry if it sounded like that. I'm just saying, like, that's another show that's on my mind recently, and that's a counter example of a show where life is not cheap. Like, a lot has to happen. It has to be a really fucking big deal for somebody to die. But in this universe, so, you know, but because of that, the kids can watch the show and be like, okay, at the end of the day, like, everyone's probably going to survive and be fine. And learn some lessons along the way, where this show has a very like, no, like, these dudes could die. Like, if Black Samson died here, I remember when I first saw this episode, I thought half the crew died. I thought I knew Mark would be alive because the show's called Invincible and he's the guy. But I was legitimately convinced that Monster Girl and Black Samson died in this episode for sure. Maybe her name is Flameproof. No, I forgot what her name is, but she's like Ant-Man. She shrinks and gets big, or she just shrinks, I think. Obviously talking about you. Yeah, they really cut people off fast at the beginning of the show. Yeah, that's totally true. And to be fair, that is true. It's more towards the beginning. Like, as the show goes on, people do survive more often. Yeah. And the Mahler twins are funny because, like, only ever one of them dies at a time. So you just keep getting the Mahler twins coming back, which is really funny.
Smart, she can go small. I forgot she can get, like, little.
Pathetic. This battle is beneath me. This battle is beneath me. There is no honor in killing insects. There is no honor in killing insects.
No. No, no, no.
This was an unexpected possibility. Isotope, let's go. Isotope!
And then good for Rex that he got to be the one to punch him out. Rex really, really grew on me. Like, I thought they were going to go a really obvious angle with him, and then they actually did some stuff with him, and I like Rex a lot, ultimately. Like, I wouldn't want to get beers with him or anything, but for a character in a show, I'm glad he's in the show. And I love that actor. He's so fucking funny, dude. I only know him as Pimento. I can never remember his real name. The Impossible showed characters dying that wore capes. Yeah, that is the Incredibles. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. No honor in killing insects. It's a very Worf thing to say. That is very true. That's very Worf. I agree. Yeah, Catman seems like he was just in the show for the comic book watchers. I know that he's a character who had a lot more going on in the comics, and theoretically that's not the last we'll see of him. Someone brought up a good point. They said that it's very if you skipped like 3 seasons ahead and fought a villain who would have been appropriate for them then, and he showed up early, that's kind of like I always say that about Dragon Ball Z. It's like they're very lucky that they always run into villains who are roughly 20% stronger than the previous villain they fought. If they ran into Cell before fighting Frieza, like there's just no chance, they just die, you know? So it's really funny that they happen to fight people like one at a time who are always a little bit stronger than the last guy. So this feels like them kind of doing a nod to that, where it's like, oh, what if one of those like season 5 people showed up in season 1? It would be like, oh shit, like give us a couple seasons to get stronger.
Oh!
Sorry, kid. Sorry, kid. Didn't mean for it to end this way. But I gotta take care of mine. Hope you make it. Hope you make it.
It's like a lesson learned.
I made sure of it.
Kurt, you want to find me in the kitchen later? I got that book we were talking about.
Great, thanks.
What? I can barely remember my English class, and you know everyone here by name.
Make the world you want to live in, right?
Right.
I thought Mark would be here tonight.
I thought Mark would be here tonight. I really did.
What if they become lovers instead? What if they become lovers instead?
What?
I kind of so ship that.
Just saying.
I do.
She's fibrillating. Step back.
Hold it in. You gotta hurry.
This right here, I love this. I love showing people like being affected by the violence. So many shows and movies that handle these kinds of topics always have it where everyone is just like made out of steel. And I think some kind of mix of that, like the fact that they're not all reacting the same way, but it makes all the impact feel so much more impactful when you get to see the breath afterward and people reacting to it and being really heavily moved. You're like, oh, something happened. Like this mattered. This wasn't just, oh, okay, we just, fought again. Like seeing someone just like breaking down crying, like that's really good. Big fan. Adds a lot of pathos.
You gotta hurry.
Oh god.
Christ. Are we gonna lose him?
It's a possibility, sir.
No. We need him. Do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. Get a sample to the lab, just in case.
Gonna put his DNA in a lab.
Yeah, they're feeling it. Yeah, exactly right. Impossibles was Fantastic Four in VB. I don't know what VB is. Some of the Watchmen reacted in their book in early New Mutants. Yeah, no, I'm always a big fan of that. I think it's a great idea.
Please, he's losing way too much blood. We can do this, come on.
Yeah.
We can do this, come on.
Yeah.
Blood. We can do this, come on.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
Yeah, he was watching the whole freaking time. Yep.
He was. I mean,
it's like you said. Is he gonna try to kill him?
I don't know, but I do feel like it's like he's teaching him a lesson. But I'm sorry, I understand he's a superhero, so he has and I understand he's a superhero, so he has to realize like what it's like to be hurt and all those other things. But like to the brink of death. I do feel like it's like he's teaching him a lesson, but I feel like it's like he's teaching him a lesson, but I'm sorry, and I understand he's a superhero, so you have to realize like, what it's like to be hurt and all those other things, but like to the brink of death, when he probably could have helped. When he probably could have helped.
Amber, I'm sorry.
Right. I have to go. What's wrong? Was that Mark?
What's wrong? Was that Mark?
It's okay. I'm here. I'll fix you.
I feel like Rex.
I'll fix you.
I feel like Rex got punched the least.
I wonder if he was curious about getting cloned so he could like grow cells to help them if they get injured.
I love when she gets real excited.
To help them if they get injured. Or to help her because every time she gets big, she gets young.
I feel like Rex got punched the least.
I wonder.
I also agree. Rex definitely got punched the least. By the end of that fight, he seems fine. He's just standing. No, that's not true. I guess him, Duplicate got hit a lot, but there's always like one Duplicate who took almost no damage, and then the Ant Girl didn't get hit all that hard either. But yeah, those three were kind of the most unscathed.
Like Rex got punched the least. I wonder if he was curious about getting cloned so he could like grow cells to help them if they get injured. Or to help her because every time she gets big, she gets young. That would be.
Life is a hard teacher. She gives you these tests up front and the lessons after. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be. Sorry, now, or he's evil. I don't know.
All right, I want that he'd be here if he could. So we'll just go ahead and kick that up to 10 and put on another track.
Or to help her because every time she gets
My
big,
butt
she
hurts
gets
sitting
young.
down too much.
Yeah, maybe.
That would.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be. Sorry,
He'd be here
now,
if he
or he's
could.
evil. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least like she was being nice, like saying like he'd be here if he could.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god.
And now I'm the kingpin.
Wow. I gotta hand it to you, boss. Look, whatever you told that kid to get him on, boss. Look, whatever you told that kid to get him on your side, it fucking.
I told him the truth.
Nope.
I'm gonna make the city better for a lot of people. I'm gonna make the city better for a lot of people. Make the city better for a lot of people. Some people come first.
Daddy! Is this our new house? Daddy! Is this our new house? Is this our new house?
Make way for the king.
Is this our new house?
Make way for the king.
Is this our new house?
Make way for the king.
My feelings are so hurt. My feelings are hurt. I was like rooting for him.
Oh, that's crazy. That's. Oh, that's crazy. That's
He's
so
not
funny.
actually a criminal.
Oh yeah, I forget. No touchy. I forget. No touchy. Oh, frick. Have you heard that TikTok audio? What can I say? God damn. Every time I see what can I say, that's all I can think about. Anyway, just leave me alone. I don't want to say anything. No, I am. Over it. No one's making me like you.
Drugs, viruses, bacteria, prions.
Even nanobots and radioactives.
What? What?
Viltrumite cells don't give a damn. They just won't.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying.
Is that why they took a sample?
The answer.
Mark Grayson. Mark Grayson. Now you actually have to do. Mark Grayson. Mark Grayson.
All right, and that's an episode of Invincible. Right there. There it was. Still got to do the outro discussion stuff, but the hard part is behind us. Took me just about exactly 3 hours, which makes sense because if I'm not extremely distractible, then it's about a 3-to-1 ratio to edit. So it's roughly an hour show. So tracks. Yeah, the soundtrack really is killer, dude. It's very good. It's definitely one of the... It's cool, too, because, man, some things have tried to do this, like Suicide Squad, and it always feels like really try-hard, and it's like, but in this one, it just feels right. It feels like the kind of music you would want if you could afford the licensing, without feeling like, hey, look at how much money we spent on licensing. Like, the songs are also, like, most of them, like, you know, Sunflower from Vampire Weekend, Don't Get Captured by Run the Jewels. They're, like, big expensive songs, but they're not like #1 charting songs, so it doesn't feel like, hey, we're showing off, look at this Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, song that we have, look at this, you know, Metallica song. I feel, you know, there's a lot of shows that when they do the big like pop song, it feels like it's a moment, it's like a big thing, and they're showing off like, ooh, look what song we got. But this one, it feels much more natural, even though they're like real songs that are like, you know, radio songs and stuff. It's cool. Yeah, they earn it. Exactly right. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, the show earns the songs that they pick rather than feeling like they're just trying to, like I said, it's show off is like the best word I can think of. Like, ooh, look what we did, huh? Show must be good. We have all these really big proprietary songs.
Whoa. Skip. Don't ever tell if anyone's good or...
And I had to listen to smooth jazz the entire time. Calm your mind. Lo-fi hip-hop mix. Hip-hop mix. It has been straight up smooth jazz this whole time, but unfortunately, my brain needs constant stimulation or else I can't focus on anything. Tried drugs, didn't work. I don't know.
I just can't ever tell if anyone's good or bad.
I know. The show's like throwing me through a moral dilemma loop.
I know, but I feel like it's comedic enough that it's like, and it's outer world enough that like you can laugh at it, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't stress me out.
Yeah,
That's not just the other things that we watch for sure.
Yeah, I saw somebody leave a comment that was like, "I'm not watching a cartoon, bye," and I was like, "Oh wow!" Like
on what? On like
on
the actual
this
video?
show, yeah, on one of our videos, yeah, but in regards to this show.
Whatever. No, I was on it.
Well, that, yeah, like why you sit through the reaction.
It is always funny the people who are snobby about, oh, it's animated, oh, instantly it's bad. It's like, you know, or God, it's really weird when I run into a young person who has the opinion of like cartoons are for kids. It's like, I feel like Gen X is the last age group who could have that feeling, and the reason people had that feeling is because it was true for a very long time. People pretty much only made cartoons for kids, and then anime was quick to the punch, but it took a long time for it to get popular enough in the States for people to get it. And then American shows started being like for adults that were not anime or, you know, for kids, and it took a long time. So now it's just a very outmoded, you know, take. And it does make me feel bad for those people. I mean, if they weren't being assholes, it would make me feel bad. But it kind of makes me feel bad that it's like you're missing out on a lot of good stories because something was animated, you know? And what they're also missing, too, is that animation can handle certain projects that live action doesn't handle all that well. I don't think, you know, I want a live action Avatar The Last Airbender at all, show or movie, because I just don't think that world looks great in live action. My go-to is always Dragon Ball Z, because it's like if you actually made a show or a movie that was like accurate to the cartoon, everyone would have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime plus some, and then they would have to have like 3-foot tall hair that's blonde and sticks straight up. Like, it's ridiculous looking. It would look really stupid in live action, but in the cartoon world, that medium can handle that, and it looks awesome, and it totally works. So it's like, this idea that like I'm only gonna, I don't know, it's just, it makes me sad. It's so small-minded.
I don't know. It's so much more than that. Yeah. You know, it's like.
I certainly would not let my kids watch the Harley Quinn show, although I will say season 1 is very good. I was very surprised how funny that show was. I was expecting it to be absolute trash. I thought it was going to be a really cynical, like, people like Harley Quinn right now, so let's just poop out some show that's kind of stupid and feels like it's written by Seth MacFarlane, and it totally didn't. It was actually, I was very surprised how good that first season was. The second and third season weren't terrible, they just weren't as good as the first season. I think they actually get worse a little bit every season. Like season 2 is 20% worse than 1, and 3 is 20% worse than 2. But there's also stuff that's really good in those seasons. Like, I love the episode where Harley is inside of Batman's mind, and it's like, it's simultaneously funny, but also like, damn, that really does suck for Batman. Like, I feel bad for that guy. I love the joke where what's her face, Waller keeps trying to get her to join the Suicide Squad, and she gets like a crate filled with a box filled with t-shirts that say Suicide Squad, so her and all of her friends wear the shirts, and then they do this thing where they're doing the Great Adventure or whatever it's called, where they have to go inside of somebody, so they're all lying on the floor and they're unconscious, and then her fucking landlord walks in and he's like, oh my god, it's a suicide pact, because they all look dead and they're all wearing shirts that say Suicide Squad. It's fucking stupid, but it's so good. So I was like, okay, all right. It's actually a good show. I recommend it.
It's better than that. Yeah, but if you want to just call it a cartoon, then call it a cartoon. I mean, I just think nobody. All I have to say was the violence, the fight sequence.
The thing about True Detective, though, I think a lot of why people are so down on 2 and 3, because it's an anthology, you shouldn't necessarily compare them, because it's almost, the dumbest thing they did was just call them all True Detective. If the first one was called True Detective and the second season was just the first season of a different show, it would have been able to be graded on its own, and I think people would have probably thought it was still really good. The trouble with it is not only that season 2 isn't as compelling as season 1, but also that season 1 doesn't feel finished. It feels like there's plenty more to get into, so it feels like you got cock-blocked on a show you wanted more of, and then they gave you something else. And you're like, well, motherfucker, that's not what I asked for. Like, what the hell is this? So that's what's so messed up with True Detective. And because of the reaction, I am shocked that they never decided to be like, okay, sorry guys, we're retconning it, we're gonna go back and do the season 2 that you all wanted. I heard recently they're doing a season 4, and I'm like, is anyone watching that show anymore? Like, I'm blown away that they've had enough. I was surprised when season 3 came out. We can't get a season 3 of Mindhunter, but there's enough people watching True Detective season 3 to get a season 4. That's crazy to me. So, I mean, good on them. Whoever these people are who are watching it, I've never met one. So there must be a whole lot of people hiding somewhere that I've never heard of. Or the show is being funded by, like, a billionaire by himself or something. I have no idea. It's really weird.
The fight sequence of the global, what is the name? What is the technical name of the Alliance? Global, because I want to say Justice League, but that's DC.
Global Alliance?
I know it's not the Avengers, that's horrible, but whatever their thing is,
Yeah.
Global Alliance, I don't know, I think it's 3 words, I never remember it. But global,
Something.
anyway, we know that whole fight.
Guardians of the Globe.
The fight sequence of the global, what is the name? I don't know. I think it's 3 words, but I never remember it. But global,
Something.
anyway, we know that whole
Something.
the fight sequence of the global, what is the name?
Something.
Anyway, we know that whole fight sequence.
Yeah.
Was the animation was crazy for it. It looked really, really good. I think Mr. Titan's a jerk face.
That was crazy.
A big poopy face jerk face. And
Wait, what? Mindhunter not be renewed is a true... Oh, I get it now. Yeah, not being renewed is a true crime. I agree. It really is. It really blows that they didn't get that 3rd season. I really, really wanted to see what else they were going to do. I was digging that show a lot. I enjoy Fargo and Fargo the series, but they both take place in my state, Minnesota. Oh, that's fun. Well, Fargo the movie is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think it's just unbelievable. It's like the Coen brothers and Roger Deakins. You can't go wrong. Those 3 are unfuckwithable. I have had a hard time with the show. when we eventually cover the show, it'll be a chance for me to kind of like power through and watch more of it so I can see if it changes my mind. But my buddy and I, so what happened was my friend had never seen the movie. So I was like, well, fuck, we got to watch that right now. So I had him watch the movie and we both were, you know, going gaga over how good it was. And so then I was like, well, here, I keep hearing that the show's fantastic. So let's try the show. We saw the first episode and both of us were like, this fucking sucks. So I keep getting told that the show is unbelievably good. So I'm assuming maybe it gets better, but it also could just be, I've also heard a lot of people who said they like the first episode. So it's like, if you think the whole show is good and you like the first episode, then that means if I didn't like the first episode, I probably won't like the rest of the show. But I think one person told me that it gets better later. So I'm like, maybe that's what's going on. But I don't know. I thought it was cringe, man. I thought it felt like someone trying to do a Coen Brothers movie very poorly. I thought Nygaard was substantially worse than Lundegaard. I thought it was goofy as fuck that they named him Nygaard because there was already a Lundegaard. Like, those names are way too close. I thought that Billy Dean Morgan was that guy's name. Billy Ray Cyrus. Billy something, I don't know. Whatever the one, you know who I'm talking about. I thought his character was fucking cringe. I thought he was such a edgelord. Like, he's like what, when I was 16, I would have thought that character was fucking awesome. Like, the most embarrassed of myself that I ever was, that guy would have thought that character fucking rocked. No Country for Old Men is a great film, but if you're a stickler for endings, not going to do it for you. I think No Country for Old Men is one of the greatest films of all time. And I think the ending is incredible. People just have to think about it differently. That ending makes perfect sense if you realize that Tommy Lee Jones is the main character, not Llewellyn Moss. So the main character doesn't die ignobly off screen. It's really like the only person who goes through any change or learns anything is Tommy Lee Jones. And he was basically this person who's here to bear witness to what's happening, you know. No Country for Old Men is unfuckwithable. That movie is a 10 out of 10.
You know, the reason that, Invincible really couldn't do it was because he was supposed to be volunteering at, the community center that is your child's second home, but he's gonna get broken by his girlfriend because he's supposed to be there. But no, he's busy helping you overthrow a kingpin while you betray him. See you there, guys. Betray him. Helping you overthrow a kingpin while you betray him. And now he's almost dead. Jerk face. But also, at the end, we see that, like, Viltrumite cells don't die.
Well, they're resistant to, like,
everything.
The stuff that they're trying to, like, the stuff that they're trying to give it. Yeah.
Viltrumite cells have to die in some way because Viltrum went spoilers, I'm going to be careful here, but Viltrum went through something where a lot of them died. So how does that make sense if they don't die? So they need to die. It's just, I think Maple's right. It's that whatever we're trying isn't doing it, but they did something, where a bunch of them died. So there's got to be at least, some kind of realm of possibility for how Viltrumites die.
So, well, that's a.
What show is Chad talking about? I was talking about Fargo, the show. Yeah, as Cynical Optimist said. Thematically, No Country for Old Men leads into the next Cormac McCarthy book, The Road. Why? Because of No Country's ending? Dreams about the Sheriff Bell's father? How does that connect to The Road?
What? Oh,
yeah.
Ooh, how are we not going to talk about that? Judy finding the super suit?
Because the story of his father was that he gave him some money and he thinks he lost it. And then the other story is that he was going somewhere and then his father went up ahead of him and told him, I'm going to go there and wait for you. I don't know what those are. I guess the father in The Road dies, so I guess that's similar, but like, I don't know. It feels like a loose connection, if anything.
Oh my god. And trying. Which also kind of means that Chuck shows that she does know him very well.
Yeah. She's like knew
what path he would take and everything else. So,
oh, that's crazy. Also, I don't think he would harm Judy.
Judy.
So I'm just like, I don't think he's.
Debibe.
Helps if I spell it right.
Debbie. Debbie.
Like, I don't think he would harm Judy. Would harm. I don't think he would harm
Debbie.
His wife?
I don't think he would harm
Debbie.
His wife? His wife?
Yeah.
I just am scared that no one's safe.
I mean, same.
I'm just scared that no one is off.
Yeah, sorry about that. Brightburns, I was gonna say, what's the name of that video? You lost my audio because I was trying to record the Debbie thing.
I don't think he would.
Debbie.
His wife?
Yeah.
I just.
Debbie.
I don't think he would harm
Debbie.
His wife?
Yeah.
I just am scared that no one's safe.
I mean, same.
I'm just scared that no one is off the table.
Yeah. Agreed. Because we don't know why he did what he did, so.
Yeah. And
There's
we
like
don't know why the
99%
robot's doing what he's doing. I don't know.
Also, I do think that the robot might be doing it for the good. If he's doing it for the evil, then he's doing it for the evil. But in my brain, my Spidey says the thing, he's doing it for a monster girl so she doesn't have to become a child.
Got it. Okay.
Brightburns, I don't think you're allowed to post links in the chat.
No, I know. I'm ready for the next episode, so
We'll see you there, guys.
All right, so let's grab the whatchamacallit. I'm so tired. Doesn't matter if I sleep, still fucking tired all the time. Okay, the rule of fire. I'll check that out. I will give that a lookarooski. Appreciate you, by the way.
They're bad.
I know. The show is like throwing me a moral dilemma loop.
I know. But I feel like it's
Built for myself. Don't give a damn. They just won't die. We'll keep trying.
I think there was samples. Mark Bryson.
just can't ever tell if anyone's good or bad.
I know.
All right, let's listen to what the music sounds like without, or with the music suppressor on.
Help them if they get injured. Or to help her because every time she gets big, she gets young.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be. Sorry,
He'd be
now,
here if
or
he
he's
could.
evil. I don't know.
Yeah, well, at least like she was being nice.
Is this our new house?
Make way for the king.
My feelings are so hurt. My feelings are hurt. I was rooting for him.
That's crazy. That's so.
This isn't even jazz anymore. I don't even know what you call this. It's like elevator music. This is like that guy who can kind of play piano at your church, who like sits there and just plays this.
My feelings are so hurt. My feelings are hurt. I was like rooting for him.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
He's
so
not
funny.
actually a criminal.
Oh yeah, I forget. No touchy.
Drugs, viruses, bacteria, prions.
What?
Viltrumite cells. Don't give a damn.
CBD. CBD oil for... It's supposed to be the motivation part. Been reading a lot about it. I might give it a try. I'd be surprised though. I only ever hear about people using CBD to relax. I need something to turn on. So here thinks Mandalorian's still good. Oh, I stopped watching in season 2. Yeah, I hate it. Early morning editing? Nah, this is late editing. It's only 2 a.m. I knew what you meant, Dave.
They just won't.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying.
Is that why they took a sample?
The answer.
Is that why they took a
Blood's
sample?
still the answer.
Mark Grayson.
I just can't ever tell if anyone.
Hello. It's nighttime and we've got our shades on.
Dude, we need to get on our cosplay game with this show.
No, I can't.
You don't want to sit here in all the hot lights of the room with a bunch of hair on your
No,
face?
it's not that. I overcommit to everything. I can't.
In
no.
like a tight spandex.
I will spend too much time that I don't have.
5 minutes late.
I know I'm a little late. You know, why don't you give Fight Force a call?
Sure, man. Just fly away. Forget about everyone else down here. Let me show you what you don't see from up there.
It's some bullshit. It's not a party for me either, man.
Okay, that's fun. All right.
It's some bullshit. It's not a party for me either, man.
She gets young?
Yeah, maybe.
That would be... Sorry,
He'd be
now,
here if he
or he's
could.
evil. I don't know.
New house?
Make way for the king.
Is that why they took a
Blood's still
sample?
the answer.
Mark Grayson.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is a good episode. This is one of the better ones. I like them all, but I probably like 4 the least. I think 4 is my least favorite episode. I did hear good things about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Yeah, I saw your boy Roshi react to that, and I like that. I like their reaction. I like the movie enough. Probably not enough to like watch the movie, but watching their reaction to it was fun. You know, I was actually really impressed by the new Spider-Verse movie. I thought that was really good. I was surprised. Because I liked the first one, but it was like, you know, it's like, all right. You know, it's better than nothing, above average. But the second one I thought was like really, actually quite good. I was very impressed by the step up in every level. I think the writing was better. I think the animation was much better. And that was one of the things that people liked so much about the first one was the animation. And so the second one actually really figured out how to kick it up a notch. It's genuinely a piece of art. I was really impressed. Ow, my back. It suffers a little bit from middle movie-itis, where there's like not a super solid beginning and not a super solid end, but overall it worked really well. All right, I have to do a bunch of stuff. Like I've got to go back and download and figure out an auto-tune device so I can do one joke. And I have to do some recording so I can have the Patreon shout-out thing here in the beginning. So I'm going to do all that off stream, but that was it. That was editing episode 5 of Invincible. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate you. I heard the Rescue Rangers film from last year or two. It feels like a spiritual successor to Who Framed Roger Rabbits. I didn't even know they did a Rescue Rangers. Are you talking about Chippendale's Rescue Rangers? Good session, chat. Fun hanging. Yeah, it was fun hanging out. Thanks, yeah. And it's nice I'm actually able to get work done these days, which is cool. I don't know what changed. I hope it doesn't go away, but there is a, not very long ago, people who've been hanging out with me know that I have a history of editing for hours at a time and getting a quarter of what I got done today done. So yeah, it's good stuff, but hopefully we'll do it more often, and I will see you guys again soon. So I love you. Catch you later.